views expressed on the previous programs are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not reflect those of the Beasley Broadcast Group, its staff, advertisers, or agencies.
Looking for a Formula 44.
Daquan. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
Daquan Cook.
Fort Lauderdale.
Get out of here. Holy crap.
560 WQAM presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, dial 567-0560 in Day and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free 877-785-NEIL or pound 560 on your AT&T and Verizon wireless phones. The opinions expressed by Neil, his guests, or his callers do not represent those of WQAM management, staff, or sponsors. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
It's just these guys nipping subs and whatever the heck it is, and the people that call in, they're just like them, like that they're on the, the weeds, and they're high, and they're... I mean, it's terrible. For years that I've been listening to 610, and it's here.
Now, you either go upstairs, put your dinosaur outfit on, and we can go trick-or-treating, or you stay in that dress and we stay home. Your choice.
Looking right, Halloween night. There's human skin with a costume tight. Vampire boogie pushed up real high. My cords can sip when I see them die. Halloween girls, girls, girls. A slutty nerd or a wicked witch. Girls, girls, girls. Give them candy and then watch them strip. Girls, girls, girls. Their hips make me grip.
Hey, everybody, guess what I am?
The end result of a drunken backseat grope fest and a broken prophylactic?
Exactly. 10:01 at 560 WQM. It's not far away now. Halloween, baby. Trick or treat. Isn't that what Freaky Carlos says at the front desk when people come off the elevator? Trick or treat.
Oh, you didn't hear my story. He was hiding behind the counter one morning, and I was out there talking to Noslin.
He was hiding behind a counter?
Yeah, hiding behind the receptionist
desk. That's true. We don't have any closets.
And I'm out there talking to Noslin, and he jumps out and scares us like a human Jack-in-the-Box.
Mm-hmm.
Scariest human Jack-in-the-Box ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that would scare the hell out of you.
Oh, that's the story?
That's the story. That's it.
I thought there was going to be something really
No, that was it. It was a very short story. It was amazing. You had to have been there.
Here's something that just came off the email. Neil at neilrogers.com, by the way. There was a zillion bunch of crap on there this morning, underlying crap. Wow. And this is crap, too. Oscar from Surbiton, London, England, allegedly. Hello, Neil. BBC radio and TV host Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand, who you saw and liked a few weeks back. I saw them and I liked them. When did I see them? Have gotten into big trouble and been suspended from their shows pending an investigation. Both are big names on big salaries. I never heard of these people. Did you?
Nope.
During a recent radio show, the two of them left messages on the telephone answering machine of actor Andrew Sachs, who played Manuel in the TV show Fawlty Towers, in which they announced to him that Russell Brand had had sex with Mr. Sachs' 23-year-old granddaughter. Well, good for him. The public have become outraged, and the media have gone into a feeding frenzy about this disgraceful behavior by the two famous men, but no mention has been made about the fact that the girl obviously offered herself at the drop of a hat to what she knew would be just casual sex. Russell Brand's reputation is well known. He likes the old in-out, in-out. If a girl does not wish for news of her promiscuity to reach the ears of her grandfather, perhaps she should refrain from being a promiscuous, draw-dropping slack Alice in the first place.
Really?
Well, that's an interesting draw-dropping slack Alice.
I like it. I'm writing that down.
Females need to get back to being ladylike and not slappers, don't you think? Asks Oscar from Surbiton.
Slapper? Well, I'm getting a lot of terms here.
Slut. Everybody loves a clown and everybody likes a slut.
Slack Alice and slapper.
Yeah, slapper.
I will.
If you like her, slap her.
Or lapper.
We have confirmation, by the way, this morning from spies inside the building that the Neil Rogers Show is never mentioned in the QM sales department meetings. I just mentioned that for the record.
Right. Several
when I get
sources.
A real attorney with balls who's going to sue the pants off these bastards. Yeah.
Oh, you're still funny after all these years.
Yeah, I am. I'm a clown. It's like what I was telling you before the show today about butching up and changing my life and doing this and doing that. And, of course, the interesting part about a lot of these a-holes out there in Radio Land is they don't understand this is a radio show. Because you listen to the show or any show doesn't give you license to tell me how to run my life, how to spend my money, how to spend my spare time, what the hell to do, etc.
Oh, you're wrong. It does give them license. There's a form. They filled it out.
Yeah,
sent it
evidently.
In. Right.
Guess who died?
I give up.
Estelle Reiner.
Who?
Come on. Estelle Reiner, a singer, artist, and actress known for her cameo role in her son Rob Reiner's film When Harry Met Sally, died Saturday, her family announced. She was 94, and believe me, that's old enough. By the way, a week from today is my birthday. We got only 6 days till Election Day. Let's get it over with already. And let's have Joe the Plumber assassinated. Anyway,
I'm Joe the Plumber.
Yeah, Anyway, Estelle Reiner drew laughs in the deli scene of When Harry Met Sally when she reacted to Meg Ryan's character who was faking orgasm by saying, I'll have what she's having. Anyway, she's dead, Estelle Reiner. 94. She was married to Carl Reiner. She was mama to Rob Reiner. You don't care?
No, not really. Sorry.
Well, why not?
I had never heard of her before.
Why not?
And I saw that movie. I don't remember her.
The Rasta drug dealers in Amsterdam. You don't want Viagra, Coke. Not interested. Why not? That has to be, to me, one of the greatest lines of all time. Why not?
Why not?
I don't wanna. Not interested. Why not? Why not? I want your money. I want your money, man. Now, let's see. We changed the poll in midstream yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, about 12:30.
To Bill. And by the way, you notice Fat Chris is with us today? Yeah, 2 days in a row. Woo! Let's hear it.
I'll be here the next two
Sarah.
also.
What?
I'll be here the next two also.
That they advocate for other nations. Nobody seems to be asking them that. Usually, the answer...
She is so shrill. Now, wouldn't you like to take a rusty, a 2x4 with a rusty nail in and just smash her up the side of the head?
Yeah, okay.
She is just obnoxious. Talk about somebody who needs to be bitch slapped. Anyway, we got 906 on the poll. Now, let's see if Eric's got that new one on. Yeah, he's got it. A Charlie B poll about the gayest thing in sports. The current poll, my all-time favorite TV grouch is, and we have 911 votes. Boy, nice going there, Tubby.
Well, thank you.
So you're going to be here tomorrow and Friday?
That's what the plan is.
And what did you decide about next week, since George is going to be on vacation all next week?
I haven't talked to the other
I don't care about who you've talked to. I'm asking you. Don't you have a one ball?
Yeah.
One little teeny tiny ball bearing?
Yes, I do.
So why don't you tell us right here on the air? Although it doesn't make any difference because you tell us and then, I'm so used to liars.
Well, I can tell you what I'm going to do, but that doesn't mean they're going to schedule me that way.
So in other words, if your name isn't on the schedule on this show, you're not coming in. Is that what you're telling me?
We'll see.
You're going to let Clarence run your life?
We'll see.
Wimpy.
Huh?
Really wimpy. You're enough to make Brandon want Josh Cordes to come back.
I don't know about that.
And by the way, speaking of Cordes, let me say it again, that WQAM.com, that thing on the left-hand side there that keeps just coincidentally and accidentally going up and down over my face so that people that want to buy the Neil deals, it's almost impossible to even click on that thing. I just thought I'd mention that. And then you always defend him. Oh, well, he's got nothing to do with the mechanics of that. Well, you know what? He ought to. He ought to get his nose in there. And believe me, that nose... Yeah, well, I know where that nose has been, believe you me.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of
rectum
places. 912 votes. I should just keep talking till we get to 1,000. The Dow is up 7.5 points, by the way. It's kind of like after that gigantic goose yesterday. Went up, what was it, 900 points almost?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. I told you it was a buying opportunity. Didn't I say that?
Mm-hmm.
No, what I said is a fool and his money are soon parted. And the stock market is a scam, just like everything. Oh, you're wrong, Neil. It's the American way, investing in wonderful companies. Yeah, let's put some lipstick on that crap. My all-time favorite TV grouch is Archie Bunker, of course, 389. He's got almost half the votes. And rightfully so. Who doesn't like All in the Family? You have to be a moron not to like that show. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe the humor goes over their heads.
Oh, that's true. Or maybe they are. Like, I guess people are like Archie Bunker. Maybe
right.
They don't get it.
Oh, what's so funny about that?
Yeah, right. Fred Sanford, 127. Ralph Cramden, 103. Dr. Gregory House from House, 68. Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street, 39. Granny Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, 36. What kind of people watch? Oh, now I forget. George liked that show.
Yeah, anyone with a sense of humor really thought that show was funny.
I hated it.
Yeah, you never
Lou
gave it a
Grant,
chance.
Mary Tyler Moore Show, 32. Now, did you like that show? I hope not.
No.
Oh, that was horrible.
Droll.
Oh, and that, what's his name? Dick Van Dyke. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. And his brother, Jerry Van Dyke. And that Dyke Rachel Maddow. Oh, my God. I have nothing against dykes. I mean, who the hell is an old fag like me to be talking about, crap about dykes? But, Jesus God, Rachel, put a little mascara on. Just a little. How about painting one fingernail? Don't go whole hog, so to speak. Just paint one fingernail would be a good start. Don't you think?
Sure.
To be just a little more feminine. George Jefferson, 29. I think that Freaky Carlos, speaking of him, is a hell of a lot more feminine than she is. Sophia, the Golden Girls, 28. Boy, was that a bad show. Oh, God. I mean, you can go to Sunrise Lakes, and see that crowd. Or you can go to Coconut Creek to the Seminole thing there, to the buffet. Oh, God. What a mistake that was. It was cheap. It was only $5 a person. They ought to be paying you $50 just to walk in there. I'm serious. But they give a lot of jackpots in that place. Well, good. Let all the crackpots go and bet for the jackpots. Boy, last night at Woodbine, I was losing my ass, and I got even to the penny. I went to play Quick Hit. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, I am.
I broke even. And, boy, I'm telling you, when you're losing your ass and you break even, you feel like you want to bet. That's part of the psychology of gambling. Anyway, Sophia's got 28. Mr. Roper from Three's Company, 18. Aunt Esther from Sanford and Son, 15. Uncle Charlie from My Three Sons, 11. Boy, that Don Grady, he was as hot as a firecracker. God. And who was he screwing? Farrah Fawcett, I think. He was
good for him.
Huh?
Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. He liked it. Mother Jefferson, 8. Mr. Bickley from Mork and Mindy, 5. And Mel Sharples from Alice, 4. Mork and Mindy. Oh, that's not the show I'm thinking of. What's the show I'm thinking of with the two chicks?
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Squirrely. Oh, Schlemiel, Schlemazel. Oh, my God. What do the people in Dubuque, Iowa think that means, Schlemiel and Schlemazel, okay? It's one thing for me, an old fag, to be talking Yiddish words in South Florida, where we got about 30 or 40 old Jews running around. But out there, like in Indiana, how about in Terre Haute, Indiana, how many people know from Schlemiel and Schlemazel? See, one thing about people in New York, they think everybody speaks Yiddish. And in New York, even the Goyim do speak Yiddish. They have to survive. There's 3 million Jews in New York.
Oi.
Exactly. You better learn your Yiddish, mister, or else.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Jackie Mason loose on you.
Rogers, Sports Radio 560
Kushner and Puckles.
Real American a-hole.
Real American a-holes.
We salute you, excessively old trick-or-treater.
Excessively old trick-or-treater.
You're supposed to be the one doling out the candy, but you still live with Mother anyway, so she can drag her oxygen tank to the door and give it out herself.
Please don't give me no pennies.
You should have given it up years ago. But hey, you're Frankenstein. You're supposed to be a foot taller than the rest of the trick-or-treaters. Fire bad. Fire bad. More than one youngster is suspicious. But you don't care. You're jonesing for a baby Ruth, and nothing is getting in your way.
Candy, candy, candy.
The coast is almost clear when the Johnson twins are picked up by their mother, who remembers you from the 3rd grade.
Oh!
Reluctantly, you hand over your pillowcase of free sweets and meander back home before the authorities are alerted.
Bubble creeping.
So, we salute you, excessively old trick-or-treater, your disability check, your cavities, and your candy corn. You are a real American a-hole.
Oh, candy corn. My whole life I had forgotten about candy corn until this moment.
Really?
I hate it.
Okay.
Tastes like dreck.
Still, it's one of those things you wind up eating.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I do. It's like, I don't like it, but there's always bowls of it everywhere. So just absentmindedly,
If there was bowls of cat crap, would you reach in and eat that too?
If it tasted like candy corn, probably.
Oh, okay, yeah. Probably does. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty. Well, that corn sure is special. Candy corn. Oh, my God. That should be illegal. That stuff is so bad. I'll tell you what else ought to be illegal is Hershey's Milk Duds.
Yeah. Those will pull your fillings out.
Not fillings, pull your teeth right out of the sockets.
Uh-huh.
But I like them, though. They're pretty good. My little Chinese market lately has been stocking 80 billion boxes of Milk Duds. Small boxes.
I see.
Well, you can't eat only 2 or 3 boxes of them.
I understand.
Well, anyway, T-Gan writes, and you got the same email.
Mm-hmm.
If Neil still hadn't received an absentee ballot by today, which I have not, you and Norm, oh my God.
You fairy.
Or somebody acting on his behalf should be able to go over to the SOE office in Lauderhill Mall. I'm going to send somebody to Lauderhill Mall? You must be dreaming. I don't know anybody I hate that much. And pick up his ballot in FedEx or Next Day Express, send it to him. The ballot then has to be mailed, postmarked prior to November 4, meaning that if the ballot gets there by Friday, it will fill in and go directly out in Mail Express or fill in and go directly out in Mail Express, or which is everything. What?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Whichever is the quickest from Canada. Have Neil fax a note authorizing you as his representative to pick up his ballot along with a copy of his driver's license or passport. You can call 1-866-OUR-VOTE or in Florida, 1-877-2-FLOBAMA for problems getting a ballot. No. I made my effort. I did my duty, and they don't want to send it to me. And I know plenty of other people. I've been getting emails from plenty of other people saying the same thing. They don't want you to vote. They pretend they want you to vote. They want to make it as difficult as possible. In fact, some goofball sent me an email about, which is a good idea. I mean, it's so obvious. It says in France they vote on Sunday since the majority of people don't work on Sundays. In other countries, voting day is a national holiday, which, of course, it should have been. I mean, it's one of those things like asking, should the sun ever shine again? Oh, no, that's a bad idea. It's too controversial, you know. For years and years. Oh, do you think they ought to make it a national holiday? No, we have important national holidays like Columbus Day and President's Day and stupid crap like that. Sukkot, you know. And that's the way it should be. National holiday, says whoever sent this, WS. Regarded as a national celebration of one of our most fundamental rights. People should be encouraged to vote, making it a fun, positive community experience as opposed to likening the voting experience to the same sort of mindset as cancer treatments. You know you should do it because if you don't, it could be really, really bad. But when you actually do it, it's really difficult. You don't always get the results you hope for. Says William, stuck in the future. Thanks, William. Oh, here's a fax, and it's an ad fax. I thought it was... Now, you said yesterday you had a bunch of faxes that you sent, and they never came through?
No. Eventually, I sent you 2, and I said, by the way, I've been trying to send those for an hour or something.
And that was it?
That was it.
Well, why should they send faxes when we have Neil at neilrogers.com?
Some people still don't have the email access. They're still old school.
Oh, my God. Dow's up 45 points. There's no... It's a buying opportunity, baby. Brandon, no aim today? No, I don't get it. What does that mean? No, his AIM thing didn't pop up. Does that mean I have it closed?
I don't know.
Anyways, do you hear about Howard Stern sending out a guy to Harlem to ask people who they were voting for? And, of course, they all said Barack. But the person who was asking the questions applied McCain's views to Barack, and all the people he asked said, I'm behind Barack and his views, yada, yada, yada. And the icing on the cake was when the guy, I don't really care about Howard. How do you like that, Brandon? It's funny to hear what they say because they know nothing. Well, we know that. How am I going to get my AIM back on there?
Click on it.
All programs. Click on what?
This.
No, seriously. Here's all my programs. There's AIM.
Mm-hmm.
AIM 6?
Sure, why not? Click on it.
Clicked on it, and what happened? Nothing. Oh, AIM just popped up on the bottom there, and I clicked on that, and nothing happened. But now it should be open, right?
Ought to be.
So go ahead and give it a shot, Brandon, or not, as the case may be. Let's see. Here's a message from somebody. Neil, I'm not in front of a computer. Neil Harris from Married with Children. Is Neil Harris from Married with Children? Is he what? I think that's his name. Can you play the old man crying over the bridge with him saying absolutely correct? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here's one from the dead Bob Lassiter. You want to hear it?
Please.
Bobby says, this is your old friend Bob Lassiter. You remember me, you old coot? I'm very upset with you, Neil. You've desecrated my good name and reputation. I also suspect you of tampering with my Wikipedia page. I got up from my dirt nap to let you know you're a heartless bastard. You never apologized to me for all the mean things you said and did for me all those years. I despise Neil. These are all from the same person. These are all from, what's his name in Hialeah? Mario. Can't you tell by the wording, by the verbiage?
Mm-hmm.
I despise you, Neil. I curse you. May you get as fat as Chris and as hated as Joe Bell. Goodbye, Neil. I'll be seeing you soon. Ha, 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 Bobby. Pretty weak. Uncle Neil, read the first and just change the punchline of McCain. Read the first what? Oh, it's another, another bad joke. That's it. That's what we got on there this morning on our email. Election is 6 days away. 6 days away is the presidential election. And South Florida, forget about the phone. Oh, wait a minute. WQAM, hello.
Happy birthday.
Uh-huh. See what I mean?
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm. Remember what I was saying before the show this morning?
Mm-hmm.
About getting up and walking out on the patio? It's 0, though. It's 32. 32 Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius. It's beautiful, though. The sun is shining, clear blue skies. Looks like a picture postcard out there. And you walk out there and you freeze your ass off. Parents, check the kids' candy extra carefully this Halloween. Some Broward Republicans plan to drop a little something extra into the bags, a piece of political propaganda. Each is about 3 by 4 inches on heavy paper, the brainchild of Sharon Day, Broward's state Republican committee woman. What a genius she must be, okay, because those kids are really going to vote several times. When parents go through the kids' candy, they'll find messages telling them, don't make every day Halloween in America. Keep Barack Obama from using your hard-earned dollars as his own personal trick-or-treat bag. That's what's going to be in the bag. He'll be at the Yenta Center, 3 or 4 this afternoon, and McCain is in Dade County talking to old green-toothed Cubans. Comunista, comunista, comunista.
Right.
I guarantee you he pulls out that socialist comunista stuff today.
Oh, listen, he doesn't have to do anything. They're going to vote for him no matter what.
That's correct. Just like the people in Harlem are going to vote for Obama no matter what. They don't even know I don't see anything happening on my aim. I'm aiming it.
That's probably a good
there's
thing.
The whole big page on there. What?
It's probably a good thing.
You're right. Oh.
It's the devil.
And speaking of the devil, I wonder what Sarah Palin thinks of Halloween. Yeah. Since she and her witch doctor preacher are all whipped up about witches, and you know the religious fundamentalist, it's the work of the devil, it's witchcraft, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like that. I think that all those people ought to be transported to the moon.
Well, when the rapture comes, they will be transported.
Is that where they're going,
to heaven.
To the cockamoon?
Yeah, well, to heaven.
I see.
Maybe it's on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
At the core.
And now the best part of it is to show you how desperate the Republicans are. They're talking about if they lose the election, which is almost a sure thing next Tuesday, is Sarah going to become the titular leader of the Republican Party? I don't want to emphasize any syllable in that word.
I'm just letting it go. It's funny.
The idea that she's going to be the leader of the Republican Party, this is what they got? Wow.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Where did you learn your trade, you idiot? Whoever told you that you could work with men? What you're hired for is to help us. You fairy. Does that seem clear to you? You fairy. To help us. To help men who are going out there to try to earn a living. You company man. You fairy.
Tonight, 1 star is out the door.
It was Joyvation and Mulch.
Dancing with the Stars, starring John McCain.
That didn't turn out too well. How can I criticize it? He's not a dance.
I screwed up.
He defies criticism.
In a moment of seriousness, I spent 5.5 years in a prison cell. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a kitchen table.
This is the lookiest thing I have ever seen.
Dancing with the Stars.
I know how to do that.
You broke your penis. And I have the scars to prove it.
Only on ABC.
10:31 at 560 WQAM. Let's take a look at that schedule. How's the weather in Philly today, by the way?
No idea.
Well, why not?
Let's ask the weather bug.
Well, let me Google it. And by the way, I accidentally blocked Brandon on the AIM thing, and I don't know how to unblock it. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah.
I'd tell you, but I don't use those devices. That particular piece of software.
Really?
That nightmare software.
Oh, it shows a sun on there.
Uh-huh. Good news.
+9. Ooh, it's 7 and sunny right now in Philadelphia. No rain in the forecast, which means they're going to play tonight. It'll be the end of the World Series. Anyway, here's the schedule. We got the Big O back at 2 o'clock. People are protesting from here all the way down to Homestead. Mad Dog 4 to 7. Dolphins tonight, 7 to 8 o'clock with the wooden Kimba Bow Camper. And then 8 to 8:15, we got the Beast. Oh, yeah. When in doubt, plug in the Beast. Because he's Clarence's boyfriend. See, the audience thinks we make these things up.
They do.
They're thinking this is a business, a place of business. Nobody in their right mind would allow somebody to bring their boyfriends in and hang out and put them on the air, pretending to be a broadcaster. Anyway, Beast, it's only 15 minutes, plus everybody watching on TV anyway who's interested. 8:15, it's World Series game continued, number 5, in the 6th inning. They tried yesterday, and it rained again. Boy, I'll tell you, Philadelphia. What a depressing, dank place that must be when the weather's really bad, like in about a week. Dank and depressing, as opposed to here where it's sunny and toasty. 32, eh? It's beautiful. And guess what's on our email thing?
I give up.
Nothing. Oh, yeah, no, here's one from Chronic Daniel. The rain stoppage of Game 5 reminded me of the 1977 Phillies-Dodgers. Oh, God. Where they played in Philadelphia in the pouring rain, yada, yada, yada. Whatever happened to playing the games during the daytime in non-dome cities? Also, the one game was played till 1:45 in the morning. What stupid-ass commissioner of baseball? Maybe W should have gotten the job after all. Oh, Daniel. And that was it. That's what we have in our the inbox on Neil@neilrogers.com. 6 days before the election. Not even the usual long articles and the attachments that I'm not going to open up and the videos that I'm not going to watch. They have nothing to say. Say something yourself. Even the chronics on there, like William. There's this guy, William Schneider, who's just chronic beyond belief. Do you get his stuff?
No.
Chronic, and he never says anything. I mean, maybe like one sentence, and then there's a link. Here's a link. There's a link. God. The Dow's up 23, by the way, for those who care. This thing ran its course. I think you killed it last week.
Yep.
Because Fat Chris said that you didn't read any of the messages.
Right. I said that?
Yeah, you did.
When?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, Flea said that. That's right. You weren't there on Monday. You weren't there Monday when I came back from vacation and sat here for half an hour screaming and yelling, hello, can anybody hear me? Hello, like that. Oh, I had the wrong pod open, Neil. There you are. For the past 2 months, a major American magazine and an allied news service have been engaged in a legal battle with the U.S. Navy over records that they believe show that John McCain once was involved in an automobile accident that injured or perhaps killed another individual.
Oh, my God.
Vanity Fair and the National Security News Service claim to have knowledge developed from first-hand sources of a car crash that involved then-Lieutenant McCain at the main gate of a Virginia naval base in 1964. I wonder if Rick Sanchez knows about that. The incident's been largely, if not entirely, kept from the public, and in the document suing the Navy to release pertinent information, lawyers for the ANS News Service allege that a cover-up may be at play. Plaintiffs have also obtained documents showing that law enforcement officers were ordered back to the accident scene to retrieve personal physical effects. The Navy has never publicly acknowledged this information. One document reads, the request involves federal government activity as it addresses what may be an attempt by the Navy to protect by concealment the involvement of a former Navy officer, sitting senator, and a presidential candidate in a serious incident involving the injury or death of another human being. The first request for information concerning duty assignment logs to Portsmouth Naval Hospital, where McCain was allegedly brought after the accident, came in the form of a Freedom of Information Act request August 28th this year. The Navy acknowledged the receipt of the request and advised that it had located the relevant information a few weeks later, only to deny the request on grounds it didn't prove an imminent threat to the life or physical safety of an individual or satisfy the criteria of a breaking news story of general public interest. No, he's only running for president. But it doesn't meet the criteria of a breaking news story. Can you imagine that coming from the government?
No.
It's not breaking news.
No one knows.
Like when there's like a brush fire in Ypsilanti or something. That's breaking news. The patient admission record logs that you seek are exempt from release, wrote G.E. Lattin, Deputy Assistant Judge Advocate General, as information in personnel medical files as well as similar personal information in other files that if disclosed to a requester, other than the actual person in which the information is pertaining to or next of kin, would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. NS News Service and Vanity Fair appealed the decision, asked for expedited treatment of the case as the end of the presidential election loomed, but the Navy denied that request as well. It appears to be a deliberate refusal to provide clearly releasable information concerning assignments to Portsmouth Naval Hospital, wrote legal representatives for the two news organizations. You know, even online, the Sentinel's a piece of crap. They've taken the big masthead. I guess they don't want anybody to know. Of course, if I put out a 7-page newspaper, I'd be embarrassed, too. I wouldn't want anybody to know the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice going, Randy Michaels, you jackass, you idiot. Well, it's a good thing you don't get the newspaper. You'd be really depressed. Allowing the Navy to extend its time to respond beyond a date when the documentary facts of this matter would be available for public consideration prior to the national election on Tuesday would violate the spirit as well as the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. Staff for the NSA News Service and the company's lawyer both refused to discuss the proceedings, and there are only parcels of information concerning the story that can be gleaned from the court documents. Actually, it says gleamed, not gleaned. Gleamed. Like bombs. What does that say? Gleaming? The bombs bursting in air. What gleaming?
Okay.
In the Star-Spangled Banner. What does it say about gleaming?
I don't know. Gleaming the cube.
They were so gallantly gleaming. What does that mean?
Something like that. Streaming,
shining,
gleaming.
Streaming and
beaming.
Oh, there he is. There's old John. He's in Miami. And there's your gay governor.
Gay.
Charlie Crist.
You know, they say a lot of times you can judge a person by who he associates.
You notice he's wearing the same light blue shirt that Charlie Crist is wearing. Only the tie has been changed. The same white hair, the same blue shirt. ¿Quién es más macho? That's the question. Now, I bet you while I'm sitting here babbling about this, that nobody... the Dow's down 8 points, by the way. I bet you... see that? The 1, 2, 3, 4. Early voting. Dear Neil, I was totally shocked Charlie Crist extended early voting last night. I think he felt he was snubbed by McCain when he wasn't chosen as his running mate. Well, he's standing right there, and he's nodding and shaking and squeezing McCain's ass. He really opened up the election for the Democrats in Florida, it says. Today is the last day to request your absentee ballot. Go online at browardsoe.org. Go Obama, says Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. Jim in Gettsville, who has got no life at all. Of course, if you lived in Gettsville, New York, you probably wouldn't have much of a life either, would you?
Never been there.
Didn't we look it up to see where it was? Somewhere near Buffalo? Oh, my God.
I believe so, yeah.
Ooh. Holding elections on a Sunday would be a good idea at a glance, but so many bastards would be watching football, it would have a negative effect on voter turnout. I did not see Bob Crane's name on the poll. Is there some prejudice toward that guy? Bob Crane was a curmudgeon?
On what show? On Hogan's Heroes?
I don't think so.
No.
Keep up the good work, boys, says Jim in Gettsville, who's obviously got serious issues. Serious mental issues.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
I'm a very old man, but back in the day, I banged a lot of dames when I got drunk. But only one had the most fun with my junk, and the stripper's name was Marie the Flame, my friends. Yes, I tell you this, my friends. When we were out on a date, I would use the bristles on my cheeks to scratch her itch from the burning east. And the stripper's name, my friends, was Marie the Flame. Yes, but see, back then when her jungle started burning, my friends, I would use both my cheeks like a soothing toy, my friends. But after a while, my stomach started turning. Guess you can figure out why. So I went back to being a flyboy. And then when she passed away, sadly all she had to say, my friends, was to have her ashes sent to me. And I keep them stored inside my cheeks. And the stripper's name was Marie the Flame, my friends. The stripper's name was Marie the Flame. And then I went on to crash 5 planes, my friend.
1046, 14 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Brandon says, find the options on AIM, and then there should be something there to see blocked users and should be able to unlock. I can't find the options on AIM. And you don't know anything about it, right?
I know a better option. You go to Control Panel, Add Remove Programs, find AIM on there, remove it. And then you won't have any more problems with it ever.
You're bad.
Ever.
You are evil. You are a bastard.
You'll be happier. Your computer will run faster. No, it's Josh Cordes he hates.
Oh, that's right. But I think he's got...
There's so many ways to communicate, even with Instant Messenger, without having to go through that.
Okay, here's an email. Okay, at least the emails are working. I don't have any real problem with Outlook Express. I like it.
It's just fine.
Although, of course, you tell me that there are, much more spiffy ways.
There are other things, but just to keep it simple, it works just fine.
Simple things for simple people. That's me. Old and simple. My birthday's a week from today. Anybody care?
No.
Any interest?
No.
I don't care. I'd like to postpone it a few years. Here's one that says, okay, Neil, you want email about the election. And see, this is just information, which is fine, but it's, since that's the most important thing in our lives right now, so here's important information for your listeners. Today, early vote for change rally with Barack Obama in Sunrise at the Yenta Center, where they'll talk about his vision for creating the kind of change we need. It's at the Bank Atlantic Center, the Panthers home, and Sunrise. Doors open at 4:30. The event is free and open to the public. Tickets are not required. However, an RSVP at BarackObama.com is strongly encouraged. Preferred entry passes available at the ticketing locations below. And it's got a list which I'm not going to read. You want me to read it? No. No, it's long and ponderous, man. Jesus, I'm going to read a list of all these addresses and stuff like that. Anyway, it's 4:30 this afternoon at the Yenta Center. Meanwhile, your limp-wrist governor is standing there right on John McCain's behind. Oh, rectum. God. Wearing exactly the same blue shirt. The Blue Brothers. The Blow Brother. Well, anyway, Phil said, did you see that John McCain is campaigning in South Florida today? No, I didn't see that, Phil.
It will create jobs.
And the neo-Nazi Republicans are calling it Joe the Plumber campaign. I believe he's traveling with McCain. Yeah, the skinheads on the McCain campaign. You got to be kidding me. Do they really think people are going to listen to a moron who can't even pay his taxes or doesn't have a plumber's license and certainly ain't making $250,000 a year? He might be making $250, like Fatso over there. He's making $250 an hour. Do you want to tell us how much they're paying you, or is it too embarrassing?
Oh, don't make him do that, man.
Okay.
It's like asking him his weight.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
What's your weight? Are the Republicans that desperate? It says, God help us all if these idiots get into office, go Obama, says Phil. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, go out there and vote 100 times for Obama, and vote no on Proposition 2, okay, on the homophobe amendment. Joe Robbie would be proud of that if he were still here today. This crap about how he was a prominent Democrat, maybe that was for whatever purposes it was. He was a real Farbissen Catholic, Joe Robbie. Remember those days? I bet you don't. No. I do. He and Anita Bryant. I'm surprised he didn't elope with that bitch. How's Anita doing? She's still squeezing it? And Alvin Dark and Bob Brake. $9.99 on your pull, Fatso. All right. One more for 1,000. We got it. Okay, I'm going to print it out right now. I'm going to end it. End the pain. Do I have your permission to change it?
Of course.
Not that I care. Let's see. Pull swish. Okay, what's the gayest thing in sports? Long list on this pull, by the way. It'll take a half hour to read it. In fact, this thing is too long for me to even read all of it on the air. I guess next hour. What is the gayest thing? Holding hands in the huddle. Locker room interview. No, I don't think so. Holding hands in the huddle. When the big macho football guys, they all get in around in the big circle, and they hold it, and their hands, too. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if that isn't gay, I don't know what is. And believe me, I know what is. I just don't know what ain't. Here's the final result. 1,000 votes on that poll. Isn't that nifty the way I ended that?
Yes.
My all-time favorite TV grouch is Archie Bunker, 430. Fred Sanford, 136. Ralph Cramden, 111. Dr. Gregory House, 75. Oscar the Grouch, 45. Why would Bob Crane be on this poll? What was...
I don't know.
Just because he was into porno, does that make him grouchy?
I would assume it made him happy.
When he got killed, but...
Made him chipper.
Wasn't he in My Three Sons?
Chipper?
Yeah, Chip. Chip and Flip and Dip. Granny Clampett, 37. Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, 35. Ed Asner. He's kind of vanished from the scene, hasn't he? Is he dead or what?
I don't know. Old enough. Old enough to be dead.
Oh, boy. He made a little political noise there for a while with his ultra-liberal leanings, you know. Comunista, comunista. George Jefferson, 35. Sophia from the Golden Girls, 29. Mr. Roper, 21, from Three's Company. Aunt Esther, Sanford and Son, 18. Uncle Charlie from My Three Sons, 11. Now, there were two Uncle Charlies. There was Fred Mertz. What was his name?
William Farley.
William Frawley.
Farley.
And then there was another one. I can't remember which one croaked first. There were two Uncle Charlies. And they were both, I think, molesting Rob.
Really?
That was Don Grady. I know I would have. Oh, God. Hey, Don, baby. I bet you he's old and nasty looking now.
Hey, we have a schedule change.
Mother Jefferson from the Jeffersons 8, Mr. Bickley from Mork and Mindy 5, and Mel Sharples from Alice 4. That's your 1,000 votes. Yes?
It'll be Curtis from 2 to 4 today instead of Orlando.
Oh, that schedule getting to be a little bit too much of a burden for the Big O?
No idea.
Curtis. Hey, the coast is clear. All you protesters can leave now. See, they caved in. The audience thinks I'm making this up. They caved into the lines that snaked around the building all the way down to 441, all the way down to the Keys. Where does 441 end when you come right down to it? I don't know where it ends.
I would
the
assume,
Everglades?
No, probably like dead ends up against US 1 or something down there at some point.
It's not a very good answer.
Sorry, it's all I got. I could Google map it.
It's not that important, but I'm just curious. Charlie Crist looks really tanned and gay and gray, doesn't he? He got a real Florida tan. And in fact, it's probably tan in a bottle.
Tan in a can?
Tan in a can. I bet you he is tan in the can. Probably there's a lot of. Oh yeah, and there's Tom Ridge. It looks like standing two behind John McCain. Good old Tom Ridge. Old yellow light, red light BS. Oh my God, what a bunch of. And who's that one on the right there? Isn't that one of the Diaz-Balart losers?
I ain't looking. I got my Spanish soaps on, thank you very much.
Well, you better get with it, man.
I am with it.
With your people in Little Havana. And they're all going, Comunista, Comunista. No,
it ends at Calle Ocho.
441 ends at Calle Ocho?
Si.
Speak it English, okay? Speak it English.
Como?
Speak English.
Que easy.
That's my best advice to a lot of you people in Dade County. Speaky English, and not only in Dade County now.
Yeah, and that goes for you gringos, too.
Oh, forget about that. And for some of you bubonics folks, speaky English. What was that name again, that basketball cook? What was his name?
Daquan Cook.
Daquan. Now, what is that? Daquan. Where did all this come from, all these names? These,
they're made up.
What are these? What?
They're made up.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking for something fancy? Is that it? We got 14 votes on the new poll. What's the gayest thing in sports? Let's see about that Outlook Express. Oh, look at that. There's a couple.
I'm looking through here in case, because I don't read so well. Is just wrestling on here? Just wrestling.
What does this mean? Try Meebo.com or AOL.com. No downloading required. For what?
Instant messaging.
I'll get that fixed for tomorrow. Okay, Brandon can take a rest today. He can send me messages on this thing, which he's been doing. In fact, here's one now. It says, damn, and I always like George. Well, if you send me your screen name and password for AIM, I can do it lickety-split. If you don't want to do it, just let me know. Of course I want to do it, Brandon. You're one of my last contacts with the human race out there. You and the professor, that's it. And Ricky, that's it. Out of all the 8 million friends from MySpace, that's what I got left.
Nothing personal, just AIM is for old women.
It's personal.
AIM is for old women, and they're dying off one after another as soon as the last one of them is dead.
I think like an old lady, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what my password is.
I do.
I know the screen name. You do?
So can I add wrestling to this poll?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
That's it, just wrestling, just the that it happens.
Okay, I'll get back to that one in a second. Let's see if there's something to read. The bedside gun rack.
What about it?
Well, there's a link here to something. And remember, many homeowners are buying one for each side of the bed. Oh, yeah, gun sales are way up in the U.S., by the way. Did you see that?
No.
Gun sales way, way up. The survivalists, like the Sarah Palin crowd, they all got their shotguns and their rifle. And they're getting ready for a Friday, too, for Halloween. They're going to shoot some trick-or-treaters because it's the work of the devil.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't tell me we're back to this again. Please. Oh. Yesterday at exactly the same time. Maybe it's on a setting. Maybe it's on a timer.
Mm-hmm. Maybe corporate's in the building.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As much as I like Muff, boy, remember that when Bob Vermouth would show up, the corporate chief engineer who was a real jerk, a real toad. Corporate's in the building. Corporate's in the building. He would be like, he would be changing his depends every 10 seconds. Corporates in the building. Like we're supposed to get all the nervous and weak-kneed because some jackass who was on the inside of the... And he's long gone, by the way, from the Beasleys.
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
You fairy.
This is your brain. Any questions?
560 WQAM, your 2008 presidential campaign leader. The most important presidential election in the history of America is about to take place. 560 WQAM is the one to turn to on your dial for the latest in... Hello?
Yeah, this is the weenie-voiced guy that always calls the station. I don't want to hear about the election or whatever it is. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about the Dolphins. Hey, how about those Hurricanes? Like, what I have to say will change the course of the game. It's like yelling at my TV.
Go away. 560 WQAM is your election headquarters for what could be a life-altering... Hello?
We're not covering the election.
Then why not, Clarence?
Because we're a sports station. We desperately try to ignore 9/11. What makes you think we're going to pay attention to this?
Yeah.
And to be a sport hole is American and sling blade and sweet cherry pie. Just ask Mandage.
Are you a Republican, Clarence?
Oh, gotta go. I hear someone tapping their shoe.
Sport Hole Radio 560 WQAM. The irrelevant garbage leader.
All right. That was kind of like mediocre until the ass end there. I like that. Let me back it up a little. Here we go. I don't hear anything.
Well, back that ass up.
Is American and sling blade and sweet cherry pie. Just ask Mandage.
Are you a Republican, Clarence?
Oh, gotta go. I hear someone tapping their shoe.
Sport Hole Radio 560 WQAM. The irrelevant garbage leader.
Oh! All right. Speaking of that, what happened to that email I just had here? Oh, Scott says, I would have voted for the little U under Hurricane football players' eyes is the gayest thing in sports. Little U. It's all about the U. It's all about the U. Isn't that what Sarah Palin keeps saying? It's all about the Jews?
Yes. It's all about the Jew.
Now you talk about chutzpah, okay? Here is one of the really chronic emailers.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
Ralph. Okay, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Have George call 311 from his cell phone, voter information. They will tell him with your personal information, name, address, date of birth, and they will tell you when the ballot was sent out. Now here comes the coup de grace. I just called to try to get it for you, and I would FedEx it to you, but they see I need the pertaining information. Oh, this is Puerto Rican Ralph.
Oh, that one.
Don't you think that's a little bit over the top? And, of course, a lot of people will say, oh, he's just trying to be helpful. He wants to get you that ballot so you can vote. I just called to try to get it for you, and I would FedEx it to you, but they say I need the pertaining information. Wow. Well, I'll send you my Social Security number and date of birth and shoe size and all that one of these days, Ralph. That's who that Ralph is, Puerto Rican Ralph.
I see.
Chronic on the emails. Now, here's the important stuff. Neil, the first uncle, was Uncle Bub on My Three Sons. William Demarest, Uncle Charlie O'Casey, and William Frawley, Michael Francis Bub O'Casey. William Frawley croaked, and then they brought in William Demarest. Well, there are sure a lot of uncles on that show. They would like to make Rob say uncle. Oh, that's New York City Dave. Thanks, Dave, who's an expert on Uncle Charlie. Hey, Rob. Well, that was a long time ago. 1965. A lot of you people weren't even born then. My Three Sons. Now, I'll go down this list once, and then maybe toward the end of the show. The Dow is down 18. Religious extremist scare tactics CNN is talking about.
And this email sent to 75,000 Jewish voters equates an Obama presidency to Nazi Germany.
The stuff is just beyond the pale. It's the most negative, vicious stuff that I've seen in quite some time.
Political experts say the extreme attacks underscore the concern far-right groups have with Obama. The evangelical group Focus on the Family Action defended its what-if letter as based on its analysis of Obama's record.
Right, like the guy that called yesterday. Remember that? Oh, well, you're going to be prepared to defend what happens if your guy's elected? And I said, well, what's going to happen? Are you prepared to Just the talking points. You know, they feed him, every 4 years, they feed him a bunch of talking points, and like parrots, they just keep repeating the same crap. There's no substance to any of it, ever. Ever. Oh, do you know what's going to happen? No, what is it? Tell me. Oh, we're all going to be speaking in tongues if Sarah's in there. In fact, tongue will be on the menu at every restaurant in America. It'll be mandatory. Fair. Oh, I bet you there's even old Jews that don't eat tongue. 53 votes on the new survey. What's the gayest thing in sports? This is a Charlie B. extravaganza, and we apologize for it up front. Male skater costume, 12. Showering together, 12. Patting the ass, 8. Oh, yeah. I've been asking that for 30 years. What other endeavor, what other line of work, like a great dramatic courtroom trial, and the prosecuting attorney wins, the jury comes back and says guilty on all counts, and the prosecution team, do they pat each other on the ass? They may high five a little bit, they may do the old fist pump and bump, but, you know, do they pat each other on the ass? Only in sports. That's got 8. Holding hands in the huddle, 5. Fake soccer injuries, 4. Hands under center, 4. Wrestling, 2. Curling broomer, 2. Oh, you ever watch curling for like about 10 seconds?
I love to watch curling.
Oh, it's fun.
So I can laugh. It's high comedy. It's like sumo wrestling. It's hysterical.
Speedos, 2. Fans taking off work to attend the draft, 1. Training camp hazing, 1. And none yet for these other 600... Stud farm, rooming together, end zone dance, coxswain. I'm afraid I'm going to ask. What is it?
It's pronounced coxswain.
Coxswain?
It's the person, I don't know what it has to do with sports. It's the person in charge of a boat.
Speaking of that, there's that ugly Phelps kid. Oh, my God, is he... He's definitely not from this planet.
I guess it's a rowing thing.
Yeah.
Like Rob Lowe, what was that movie he was in?
Oxford Blues or something like that.
Oxford Blues, very good.
Really? Wow.
Downhill suit, skier suit, rosin bag. What's gay about the rosin bag?
I don't know.
Pine tarring the bat, catcher signs. Yeah, especially when the catcher squeezes his goods, you know? You're watching, he's giving 1, 2, and then he squeezes his package. Catcher sign. None of these have any. Massage room, boxing clinch, jockey silks. What's gay about jockey silks? Well, what does that mean? By the way, I was wrong. Justin Stein looks like a Martian. He's strange. And he can't ride very well either. Sports Illustrated, pads-only photo spread, ladies tennis grunt, scrum, baseball socks, locker room interview, basketball fight, hockey shorts, the yellow card, grasping the sumo diaper, jock straps, football pants, and pitchers trying to hit. 61 votes, and the last 100 of them there have none. The last 100 choices. The last 100 Joyces. Oh, here's Brandon back again. It's under one of those drop-down menus at the top. Might be under preferences. Oh, God. Okay. What?
This is one of the many reasons why.
It's funny because this happened either, I think, yesterday or Monday.
It's one of the many reasons why.
And I did find the thing, and I unblocked him because I'm sure as hell not going to block him. He's the only person I talked to on there. And I managed to find it. Now I can't. Cuba got change in 1959. What a bumper sticker in Little Havana, no doubt. Cuba got change in 1959.
R.
Yeah. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ed Asner's alive and well and still acting and being a big-mouth commie pinko liberal Jew. His real first name is Yitzchak. He was also, for some reason, a recent phone guest on the Dan LeBastard show. Wow. Yesterday you received an email from a fake Dickie Farkle. I was wondering if he was still alive. Well, we don't know. We don't care. I was wondering. The most recent update I can find that is of April 2006. He was buying time on WPBR 1340 in Palm Beach. I've been trying unsuccessfully to find out what happened to Skip Herman and Jim McBean. If one of the other Rachel Maddows out there knows, any info would be appreciated. Oh, this is from the fake Steve Arrow.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Woody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Woody. Delete. Here's Tom Osgood, who says school 1958 versus 2008. And it's just a long list of chazarai. This should hit every email to show how stupid we've become. Johnny falls while running down recess and scrapes his knee. He's found crying by his teacher, Mary. Mary hugs him to comfort him. 1958, in a short time, Johnny feels better and goes on playing. 2008, Mary's accused of being a sexual predator and loses her job. She faces 3 years in state pen. Okay, Tommy. Really good stuff. Here's one from Lydia. Hi, Neil. I don't understand why voting is so complicated with today's technology, because that's the way they want it, Lydia. When playing Lotto, we know where the winning ticket was purchased within hours. And as far as Charlie Limp-Wrist Crist goes, he is a Christian, he told us. When he was running, he would make sure our property taxes would go down. What a cheat, a fake, a buffoon, a true Republican political sham. When I got my tax bill, they give the $50,000 homestead exemption, then up the market value of property, which causes my yearly tax bill to go up an additional $400. FYI, Rudy Giuliani was having coffee cubano at the local Latin American restaurant the other night. You should have seen the dumbasses leaving their meal to shake his Republican charlatan hand. The fool's a terrorist. A terrorist could have sneaked in and sprinkled fairy dust on the food just for good measure. Says Polona, who's Lydia up on top, but is Polona on the bottom. You know what I mean?
Nope.
On top she's Lydia, and on the bottom she's Polona. Well, she's got names for her parts. 12 minutes after 11 at 560 WQAM. What?
That's it. That's all you get, man.
Go ahead.
Well, what's the problem, Fatso?
It disappeared or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Neil? God?
The masters of Hollywood horror have created the ultimate haunted house in the Beverly Hills Haunted House. Screech's Dungeon of Hell Porn. The Martha Stewart completely naked room. The pit of Wilfred Brimley in a thong as Rosie O'Donnell eats oatmeal off of his buttocks.
Oh, my God.
The kids will never, ever, ever, ever forget the Michael Jackson Playroom.
Hey, children.
Your sanity will be tested.
What is that? It's like a skeleton with skin hanging off of it.
By the Nicole Richie.
This was a mistake.
Bulimic Bathroom.
Feed me.
The Beverly Hills Haunted House.
11:17 at 560 WQAM. So what was it that got the audio vault unscrewed this time?
Ungapachki'd.
I'd close it and open it again before, so.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I thought this was a new piece of equipment. I thought we got a new one.
We did.
And?
No idea.
Crap?
I don't think it's a piece of crap, but I don't know why it's
Call up Bob Vermouth. Get him in there.
Corporate's in the building. Corporate's in the building.
Oh, my God. Playground for overgrown children. That's QAM. Maybe that's why they're into all that jock-sniffing crap. Bob says, you say that your MySpace... This is hysterical. You say that your MySpace is dead. Well, I think that online social website that is trending toward kids and teens. There's another site that's on fire and trends older. Facebook.com. No kidding, Bob. Maybe Brandon or George can fill you in on it. Yeah, I know all about it.
I'll play a news sounder for you here. Hey, Neil, Facebook.
I don't wanna. The more information about yourself you enter, home location, schools, radio markets, where you worked, etc., the more people will contact you and share those characteristics. I don't want to be contacted. We have been involved since the summer. I've been meeting new people, old friends, and friends of friends on the Internet ever since. Don't know whether that will last or trickle down as time goes on. But in the short term, add some excitement to your show and or life, says Bob. Oh, I don't need any more excitement. I got as much excitement as I can handle. Facebook. Oh, good God. Well, and why is it going to be any different than MySpace? It's going to be the same crap.
It isn't the same exactly thing.
It's not?
No, but...
It's not like a big novelty in the beginning and then everybody loses interest and you stop hearing from them?
Well, like all things, it's how you use it, but you wind up using...
in your case, I mean, you're trolling for ass. I mean, everybody knows that.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's a great way to hook up with real people as opposed to everyone being anonymous or the potentially anonymous like they are on MySpace. Mm-hmm. Facebook is more like a real people, getting back in touch with real people like old schoolmates and things like that, family members. It's a little bit more serious.
Serious?
Yes.
Tom says, It was common knowledge the Republican governor of Florida, Charlie Crist, was gay before he was elected.
Gay.
Common knowledge. It was common knowledge about Mark Foley, too. But see, the straight media out there, they don't print these things. They doesn't do it. And, of course, the straight masses out there, oh, there's no fairy going to be governor of Florida. And especially the Republicans. Can you imagine a gay Republican governor? When the McCain camp suggested he might be a candidate for vice president, Charlie was persuaded to get married so as to dispel any ideas of not being normal. Unfortunately, his efforts were not rewarded. He was abandoned by the McCain campaign, but not by his wife. What does that mean, wife? He didn't get married. He talked about being engaged. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Due to the inordinate length of lines for early voter turnout, the voter cry was heard asking for the governor to extend the early voting hours to accommodate the crowds. Given the fact the governor is a Republican and the majority of voters turning out are Obama supporters, we didn't think the governor would intervene. Surprised, the governor came out yesterday. Well, he came out and extended the early voting hours. I never could understand how any member of my minority group could be called a Republican. Outside of their claims of being devout and wanting to bomb every country they find annoying, they hate gays, don't want women to have the right to choose. They insist on a fence across the border, sending the Mexicans back to Mexico, not a bad idea, and the blacks back to Africa. Now I ask you, where else could you find family values like these? Say cheese from Tom in Boca. His wife didn't swear. He never got married. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the wedding is off. Call up Jimmy Syphilis and see if Jimmy knows anything about that, about canceled weddings. You got Jimmy's number?
Yeah, I got it ready.
Can you believe the way what's happening in this market? All these ex-jocks have taken over. You got right-wingers and ex-jocks, which there's a lot of crossover there, you know. But that's it. Jimmy Syphilis doing mornings on IOD. I mean, just the thought of that it's just... I don't know. It's one of those deals where you don't know whether to laugh or cry. So you just put your head in your hands and you just keep laughing and laughing. John in Dublin, who's becoming really, really chronic. He says, I hope you don't think I'm getting ponderous or chronic. I'm off work with a back injury, listening to you and George on the net. Yes, you are becoming ponderous, but keep them coming. We can't be choosy. Now that I know who that Ralph guy is, PR Ralph. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this yesterday, when we found out for sure it was the real Johnny Dark who sent me that old picture of his. He's the one who actually sent that racist... I'm embarrassed that I ever knew him.
Really?
Yes. You didn't hear it on Monday. In fact, Chris didn't hear it because he was not working. He was AWOL. It was the most disgusting, racist piece of garbage. And the fact that anybody would be dumb enough... I mean, I'm only assuming that it was from the same person. Because he insisted the real Johnny Dark. And then he, again sent me yesterday with a bunch of his pictures and stuff. It's one thing to be a bigoted... I mean, you have every right to be as bigoted as you want to be. But to come out and say it in public... Am I right?
Right.
At least have a little bit of common sense. I realize that when you work in this business long enough, it erodes whatever gray matter you had there in the beginning.
Gay
matter. Anyway, John in Dublin says, here are some points regarding the McCain-Palin ticket and why I voted for Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Who would vote for someone who finished fifth from the bottom of his graduating class? Who would leave his wife after she had a debilitating car accident? General Wesley Clark is right when he said, it doesn't take much to get shot down, let alone crash 3 planes during flight training. A maverick is not somebody who voted over 90% of the time with Bush. Who would vote for someone whose husband was a member of a party who wanted to secede from the U.S.? We need smart people now at this juncture in history to run the country, not the simpletons of the Republican Party who spew their fascistic garbage, racism, and hate. But never underestimate the stupidity of the American people, says John. Good luck to us all next Tuesday. Well, thanks, John. I hope you're doubling your pleasure in Ireland. He's off from work, like Fat Chris, who's always off from work. Maybe he's retired, Fat Chris.
No.
You think? Well, maybe you will be one of these days soon. Here's one from the fake cousin Brucey. Oh, the market's up 20 points, by the way. It's not going anywhere. Oh, there's Joe Biden in Jupiter.
Middle class in America. They have been battered.
Tomorrow he's going to be in Uranus. For the poll, two-man luge is absolutely the gayest thing ever. Two-man luge. It makes that quarterback from the University of Scum Miami, who looks like his face is covered with latex, looks straight in comparison. Well, almost. Oh, has the UM got a gay quarterback?
Not that I know of.
It says University of Scum Miami is what it says here. Can't spell scum without UM. Oh, and this is a hoot, it says. Here's an attachment. Here's a picture from the Wizard of Oz. And look at that. There's Sarah. And Barack Obama's the Tin Man. And, oh, boy. And there's an attachment with it, too, which I'm deleting right now. They have nothing to say. Nothing. Zero. Zippity-doo-dah. They have attachments. They got links to articles. They've got cartoons, funny things that aren't funny. This thing was fantastic in the beginning for, what, about 5 minutes, this email thing?
Mm-hmm.
Neil at neilrogers.com. Keep them coming, man. They're really killing me.
Neil Rogers.
God.
Hi, guys and gals. I'm Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. When I'm not shooting caribou from a helicopter hovering 50 feet off the ground, I'm a 44-year-old wife, mother, and future grandmother of an illegitimate child conceived out of wedlock. But I'm also an endorser, and I'm here today to tell you folks about an exciting new perfume for you gals out there. It's called Pentecostal Perfume. Named after the religious practice I no longer associate myself with due to its controversial nature, Pentecostal perfume will make you smell divine and make you speak in tongue. It's perfect for all occasions, whether you're hunting or running or taking a field trip to the nuclear plant. Gosh darn it, this is a fragrance for all you gals. Other perfumes just pale in comparison. I'm Sarah Palin, and I approve this fragrance.
I hear Joe the Plumber sprays it on his rectum. That's just a rumor. Boy, Joe Biden's all whipped up.
Well, good.
There should be no income taxes for seniors.
He's in Florida. You'd be whipped up, too, if you had to be in Florida. Oh, that's right, you are. 11:32 at 560 WQAM. Don't forget, Curtis for the Big O at 2. The coast is clear. See, Curtis, I guess, doesn't kiss Clarence's ass. That must be the problem. Why Curtis never really got his own show? Because he doesn't suck cheek.
Correct.
See, there you go. Now, listen, let's hear it. Let's have a sitting ovation for Fatso. Wow.
What?
Finally grew a small, teeny, tiny, ball-bearing type pear. Nice going, Fatso.
Hey, no problem.
See, now, everybody would like you a lot more. Not that you really will get paid anymore, but, you know, it's better to be liked. That's what Bill Vines told me. Don't you want to be like Sandy Payton, Neil, so everybody would like you? And I said, no, that would mean if everybody liked me, that means I would be boring, like Sandy. You idiot.
It's also nice to be able to get a check, though, so.
So what? So don't carry it too far is what you're saying?
Well, you know, there's some things that I can't always say, maybe. How's that?
Listen, I just gave you kudos, man.
Well, thank you very much.
I just gave you props from old Pops in the slop. Boy, there's nothing like a day at the track when the track is real muddy. Oh, God. I long for those days. Now that they got this new poly, whatever the hell they call it, all these synthetic, everything in the world is synthetic now. Probably even George is smoking synthetic weed.
Not this guy.
Thank God. Thank God. The day that George starts smoking synthetic weeds, the day that we all walk off.
Yeah, man.
That's right. We get up and walk out in protest.
Yeah, man.
Although when they get some, I'll give it a shot.
Here's the fake Rachel Maddow sends me an email. Mr. Rogers. Hello, Mr. Rogers. My name is Rachel Maddow. A friend of mine sent me a clip of your show yesterday. In the clip, you referred to me as a dyke and a bitch. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is some sort of weird attempt at humor, but I find these comments to be totally rude and offensive. Ow. Woo. I'm not sure who you think you are, Mr. Rogers, but this type of slander on the radio is unacceptable in the times we live. Well, let me know when it's acceptable. You are a bigot and a racist, Mr. Rogers. In case you haven't heard, I have a hit TV show. I make more in a month than you make in a year. Yeah, you should live so long, honey, if this were the real one, which it's not. I'm also half your age, so what does that say about your measly accomplishments in the clown market you were in? Consider this a warning, Mr. Rogers. I'm having my people listen to every minute of your show from here on out. If I hear any more of this slander and bigotry, you'll be hearing from my lawyer. I have the contact information for Joe Bell and Ms. Fitch, and you'll be hearing from my lawyer if you don't cease and desist immediately. You're a disgrace to homosexuals everywhere. Sincerely, Ms. Rachel Maddow. Oh, try a little bit of lipstick. Just I don't care where you smear it, Maybe a little on your rectum. And at least nobody would see it. Maybe she's allergic to that stuff. Are there women who are allergic to makeup?
There are people who are allergic to everything, and so therefore, yes.
Well, maybe Rachel will email me back and say I'm allergic to a mascara and rouge and
I dated a girl that was allergic to all chemicals on her skin.
Yeah.
Pretty girl. Did not smell pretty, though.
You did what with her?
As much as I could.
Oh. She didn't smell good?
No. No, she could not use anything harsher than Ivory soap.
She didn't have any accoutrements. Oh, Ivory soap. Oh, yeah. But this is long before there must have been body wash.
Correct. But anything...
Let me say it again. Real men, real people, real intelligent folks use body wash. People that are still scrubbing that nasty soap, get serious. James says, oh, this is long. That's good. Nice going, James. Keep them coming. Dear Neil, I'm gay and I have this quote-unquote gay friend on MySpace who just so happens to be a religious, crazy evangelical person. I was shocked to hear that he's voting for McCain because the person I'm speaking of is also a black man. I've tried talking reasonably to this guy to vote for Obama, but I don't think he has the ability to reason, I think, on his own, claiming that there are a lot of black Republicans out there who vote Republican because it was the Republican Party led by President Abraham Lincoln who freed us from slavery. Yeah, that's good logic. Now, recently he put up a MySpace bulletin trying to rally up as many people as he can to cast their vote for old insane McCain. If that wasn't enough, his bulletin reflects his outrageous lie that our country was founded on biblical principles. And then it quotes some crap that he's... So I ask you, please, what do I say to this lunacy? I would delete it is what I would do, okay? Jim, I'd get a life and delete it. What do I say to this lunacy poster? Oh... You know what this reminds me of? It's the people who tell me that they listen to Rush because they want to hear the other side. Oh, do you hear what he says? It gets me so angry about it. Yeah. So what are you listening for? Oh, I want to hear both sides, As if there's any doubt of what he's going to say. The kind of vile right-wing hate, racist garbage that he spews. It's really interesting. Imus can make a couple of cranky... Not that I'm sticking up for Imus, who's a cranky old fart and should have been off the air 20 years ago, but he can make a couple of marginal comments on the air. Right away, he gets fired, and there's a big simus about it. Rush Limbaugh can make the most outrageous racist comments, whether it's about the NFL or no matter what it's about Obama, and it's like, oh, well, that's him. That's Rush being Rush. Isn't that what happens when you pop too many of them peels? Bob B. says, heard you mention that gun sales are up in the USA. I can attest to that. I have two redneck friends in red states, Texas and Mississippi, who are stocking up on weapons and ammo to prepare for the uprising. My erstwhile friend in Mississippi thinks if Obama's elected, he's going to give every black person in the country a check for $50,000 and an AK-47. What's wrong with that?
Right.
Would you take I'll give you the extra AK-47 if you want to give me your check.
Thanks.
I never got a, what do they call those checks that they send out to everybody? Did you get
Economic stimulus?
Yeah, the stimulus package.
I got mine eventually.
I haven't got it.
I stimulated myself with it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
In the...
Rectum.
Wow.
For
That's
starters.
probably what they sent it. They sent it out so everybody could have some toilet paper. You could wipe your ass. How much was it?
Oh, I forgot. It was part of the other thing. Well, see, my particular case, there was a mistake on my return, so they corrected it and sent me my stimulus all in one lump.
Bob B. says, love the show, keep up the great work. Oh, did you hear that Jimmy Syphilis and Henry Barrows overpaid? Yeah, I had that on the air yesterday, Bob. Did you know that? Or it was on Monday?
I don't know that.
Jimmy Syphilis' wine shop closed down. Henry Barrow was the tasting guy. Probably drank him out of business. Out of business. Jimmy Syphilis. What happened to the favorite guitar player poll I sent you a few weeks ago? Thought it would be a good one. Well, it wasn't, Bob. And it says, I'm your friend. Well, you saved yourself in that last sentence there, Bob. It was not a good poll. It sucked. Favorite guitarist. Oh, my God. Jesus. He's even starting to make Charlie B look pretty good. Not great. I think they like this poll about the gayest thing in sports. 138 vote. I'm only going to read the top three. Patting the ass, 37.
Rectum.
When one guy puts his hand on another guy's ass,
gay.
That's all. That's what it means to me. Right?
We've always heard about these how do gay people recognize each other? Is there something like something that you wear?
Even gay people
hand
don't
signal
run around
and
patting
things
each
like
other
that.
on the ass in public.
That's one of those things. That's how you know.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, if a guy smacks you on the ass, obviously.
I bet you Brady Quinn's done a lot of that. Not necessarily on the football field. Patting the ass 37, showering together 23, and male skater costume 21. Those cute little figure skaters. Those screamers.
The best Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Sports Queer Radio is what the Q's for in QAM.
This is CNN Breaking News.
In an interview with Wolf Blitzer, McCain attacked Wolf.
Colin Powell was pretty biting in his criticism. He sensed you didn't have a complete grasp. Well, I wonder if you'd like to respond.
Stand up and fight. What? I'm not afraid of the fight. Cut them. I have the scars to prove it.
You're crazy.
Are you crazy?
I'm ready for it.
We'll be right back with more headlines. CNN Breaking News.
11:45 at 560 WQAM. Happy Wednesday. Here's a really nice email. It says, it makes me so happy to know that you're freezing your ass off up there in Schmitty, Toronto, while I'm enjoying beautiful Miami because you can't do your show from here. Did you know that I can't do my show from there?
From here?
Yeah.
You can't?
Well, according to this jackass. According to this guy who's still listening, even though... See, this is what cracks me up about each and every one of these people. Oh, your show sucks, and you're an idiot, and you're blah-blah-blah, and you're freezing your ass off, and et cetera. Which, by the way, it's very nice and toasty in here, and it looks really nice outside. And I'm very happy that I'm not there. I was there all week last week. That was enough. That was enough for a few months. It makes me even happier to know that nobody listens to your crappy show anymore. Yeah, nobody except you, I guess, huh? I'm willing to bet the Beasleys will be forced to cancel your contract early, as they won't be able to bill enough to cover your contract. Actually, looking at BBGI shares, which have gone down in a straight line, it's already pretty bankrupt. I guess they'll go under shortly. Great way to go out. Yeah, I'm really worried about it. I don't know where I'm going to get my next 2 nickels to rub together. Thanks for listening, though. You're the one. Rocky says try to vote at the library in Fort Lauderdale on Sunrise Boulevard, but there was no place to park. The people who were parked on the side street near the library will have a gift from the city. There was a lady giving parking tickets to all the cars parked on the street. Thanks for the good news, Rocky. Just another way they encourage people to vote. God. Neil, did you notice after Syphilis interviewed McCain? No, I didn't notice that Syphilis interviewed McCain. I don't listen to the Jimmy Syphilis show. He posted on his website that he offered to have... See, I used to check out the Footy website because it was so pathetic it was funny. You know what I mean?
No.
Camp. Oh, that movie Vacancy was on again. I was trying to mention that yesterday and you interrupted.
Sorry.
Vacancy. Well, no, that's what I mentioned that the movie Departed was on. Isn't that the one that you keep telling me to watch?
Yes, from the beginning.
And I couldn't get into it. But anyway, Vacancy was on again. I didn't watch it. I mean, once you know the whole thing,
right? Correct.
There's not much reason to watch it anymore. I do like the part that the first time when they go into the motel and they open the door and there's all this screaming and carrying on, back through that door.
Mm-hmm.
And the motel clerk, he did look like a real pervert, didn't he?
Yes.
He was. Anyway, it says, did you notice he offered to have Obama on his show for equal time with McCain, but Obama only offered surrogates for an interview which Syphilis declined. Well, how are we going to overcome that, boys and girls? First of all, why would Obama want to go on with a right-wing Nazi like Jimmy Syphilis on a right-wing station like IOD, in a right-wing company like Cheap Channel? Oh, but they got 942, Neil. Yeah, right. You know who's on 940? Ms. Rachel Maddow.
Ooh.
I wonder if she wears makeup during the radio show.
She could say she does.
Listen, Rachel, you can be as butch as you want to be, okay? You're no Keith Olbermann. Make no mistake about it. Your show blow. Barack Obama, looking for a national landslide. I think it's going to be an electoral landslide. That's my prediction as of now, 6 days before the election and 7 days before my birthday. You never did say how old I was going to be. 66. 66!
We discussed that yesterday.
No, we did not. You said 100. I said 200.
You said 66. Eventually.
But you didn't listen to it.
You sure I did.
Highway 66. Do you know how old that is, 66?
Old.
Ancient. Venerable. And yet somehow I don't feel like one of those old yentas like the ones there at the Seminole and Coconut Creek. Oh, my God. Wow. What a crowd. So one thing, when you graduate beyond the blue hairs to the purple hairs, then you know you've really made it.
Wow. I didn't know there was a level beyond blue.
Purple hair. We got purple hair. We got dentures in a glass. It's fizzing. My stomach was fizzing after I dug into some of that chow. Oh, painful. And those sausages, overdone on the outside and raw on the inside. Breakfast sausages.
Mm-hmm.
The links. Maybe that's why these people keep sending me all these stupid links. Anyway, Barack Obama now leads in 4 states won by George Bush in 2004, is essentially tied with John McCain in 2 other Republican red states, according to the new AP GFK battleground polling. What the hell is GFK?
I don't know. JFK?
No, GFK. The results help explain why the Democrat is pressing his money and manpower advantages in a slew of traditionally GOP states, hoping not just for a win, but a transcendent victory that remakes the nation's political map. McCain is scrambling to defend states where he wouldn't even be campaigning if the race were closer. Less than a week before Election Day, the AP GFK polls show Obama winning among early voters, favored on almost every issue, benefiting from the country's sour mood, and widely viewed as the winning candidate by voters in 8 crucial states: Colorado, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Yes, Virginia, there is a new president coming. And he's black. Not real dark black, but just black enough to scare a lot of them rednecks. And Johnny Dark. I'm embarrassed and ashamed that I ever knew him, and I'm also embarrassed that we invited him to come in and eat lunch with us that day on the air. Remember that?
Yes.
And then a couple weeks later, we get a message from the front desk. Oh, Johnny Dark is out here, wants to come in and sit with you guys. And we said no. Remember that?
Of course.
He thought we were going to keep coming back for a free lunch every couple of weeks. Despite a mounting chorus of Republicans predicting their nominee's demise, McCain aides insist their internal surveys show victory is still within reach. Right. Just like QAM's going to have a 10 share in the next book. Oh, it's the Dolphin book, Neil, the Dolphin book. Well, that's right. Indeed, polls are mere snapshots of highly fluid campaigns, and this race has been unusually volatile. McCain was written off prematurely last year, and Obama seemed poised for victory in New Hampshire's Democratic primary just before Swillery thumped him in New Hampshire. Even this close to Election Day, racial tensions and the numbers of late deciding voters identified by the AP GFK polling leave room for doubt, but the surveys confirm what McCain aides privately acknowledge: their chances of winning are low. They're feeling mighty low. And we're discovering just how low they can go. I'm serious. Between now and Tuesday, I guarantee they bring out the N-word. Or at least Smokey, a Cloud, Coon, something like that. Don't you think?
I'm sure they are behind closed doors.
Yes. Oh, now, what was it that Sarah called? Let's see. I didn't have time for that story yesterday. Well, I don't have time for any stories. Because generally speaking, we've had a lot of emails, but not today. Fox host berates Joe the plumber after McCain surrogate says Obama vote means death to Israel. I'll never have time for that either. Supporter outside McCain rally chants, "Bomb Obama." Bomb Obama. Bomb Obama. I'm sure McCain's singing that. Where's the story about them? It was on our website. She said, oh, when Obama beat Swillery, she said, I see Sambo beat the bitch. That was her comment. So, Sarah McCain, Palin. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Sambo beat the bitch.
I see.
She's a good religious bitch, though, Sarah.
Oh, I know.
The poll shows Obama holding solid leads in Ohio, 7 points, Nevada, 12 points, Colorado, 9, and Virginia, 7. All red states won by Bush that collectively offer 47 electoral votes. Sweeping those 4 or putting together the right combination of 2 or 3 would almost certainly make Obama president. It takes 270 electoral votes to win the White House. Obama can earn 252 by merely reclaiming states won by John Kerry in 2004. There are only 2 Kerry states still in contention, Pennsylvania with 21 votes and New Hampshire with 4, and the polls show Obama leading both by double digits. Ohio alone's got 20 electoral votes, Nevada 5, Colorado 9, Virginia 13. In addition, Obama's tied with McCain in North Carolina and Florida, according to the polling. 2 vote-rich states Bush carried in 2004. Obama's throwing his time and money into the Sunshine State, which has 27 electoral votes, part of a strategy to create many routes to victory and push toward a landslide of 300 or more electoral votes. North Carolina's got 15. Independent polling suggests that New Mexico and Iowa, 2 traditionally Republican states, are out of reach for McCain. Out of reach. Other red states may be creeping away from him into contention, including Montana. Can you imagine that if Obama won Montana? Can you even begin to imagine the... Well, you're a Montana
That'd
guy.
be great. They have a Democratic governor. Lots of tree-hugging hippies live in Montana. What do you think
they really?
Yeah. Guess what? Tree-hugging hippies like
points.
trees. They go to where the trees are so they can hug them.
Yeah, hug this.
That? Ew.
The bottom line, it says McCain must overtake Obama in the many red states where he's trailing or tied, a tall order where he needs to gain some breathing room by winning Pennsylvania, where he currently trails by 12 points. Many of his own supporters say the race is all but over. I get the sense it's shutting down, said Tom Rath, a Republican consultant in New Hampshire, where McCain trails by 18 points. 18 points in New Hampshire. He added, where there's a week, there's hope. Well, there's only 6 days now, Tom. A couple of factors might cut McCain's way. It says, first, there's still a good number of voters open to changing their minds from a low 4 points in Nevada to 14 points in New Hampshire. But what does that tell you? If every one of those undecideds went for McCain, he'd still lose by 4 points in New Hampshire if the poll is right. Right? Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Second, the impact of race is hard to measure factor as Obama seeks to become the nation's first black president. But he's only like half black. In 3 states, North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania, the number of white Democrats who said the word violent described most blacks hit double digits in the polling. Violent describes most black people. How do you like that? North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania. In those same states, Obama was having trouble winning over white Democrats. 20% of them in North Carolina said they were voting for McCain, 12% in Florida, and 8% in Pennsylvania. A senior GOP aide in Congress, speaking on condition of anonymity to avoid angering his nominee, said McCain's advisors are being asked by some Republican leaders to focus the candidate's travel on states with close Senate races, essentially abandoning his White House ambition to help re-elect GOP senators. How's Ted Stevens doing? He's still campaigning. Good old Ted. Nazi bastard. I hope that when they put him in a slammer, I hope they know that there's a real Nazi on the inside.
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
Hi.
Yes.
I know, isn't this weird that I'm coming up to you in this maxi pad aisle?
My gut is telling me it might be a bad idea for the campaign.
So do you ever think about odor protection?
It has always been an embarrassment.
Did you know that only Stay Free has active odor control ingredients that stop odor before it begins?
I don't know, but...
Feminine odor. Nobody likes it.
Tell me about it.
I've been there. I know what the challenges are.
Now you get 4-wall protection against leaks and odor neutralizers.
Thanks, but no thanks. It's a part of the culture here in Alaska. I've just grown up with that.
I said thanks, but no thanks. Oh, God, she just gives me the willies. Armando says, now I want you to listen to this.
All right.
Any reaction to the documentary I mentioned to you Wednesday? Question mark. Now, first of all, it couldn't have been on Wednesday because I was on vacation last Wednesday. It must have been on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Although it seems to me that you were there for this. I don't know. I guess not.
I have a vague memory of something from an Armando, and you ripped him for it. He's not talking about
that. He
that.
didn't know what network it was on and didn't know the right name of it and et cetera. No, I don't have any reaction because I didn't see it and I have no idea where to find it. Other than that, have a great day, Armando. Melissa Dasquez is one ballsy Obama lover. 2 days ago, the 23-year-old parked right across from the Versailles Cuban restaurant, Miami's political equivalent of Western Texas, and took out a Change 08 yard sign. Bracing herself, she turned on her video camera. On a quest to raise awareness amongst Spanish-speaking Miamians, Dasquez figured Little Havana would be the right place to change a few minds. To win an election, you've got to understand your opponents, right? It was a nice idea anyhow, it says. Here's her recount of what went down with the customers. They got nasty. I'm a little overweight, so they told me, you're fat. With Obama's president, there will be no food. They called me a terrorist, a communist, a disgrace. A lady told me that with Obama, America will cry blood. An old man grabbed his genitals and called me a lesbian. He said, you have black babies. Wait, lesbians make babies now? That's what should be we should be blogging about. What the haters didn't know, Dasquez is Cuban too, damn it. So it was not all a total failure, it says. One good exchange came from the mess. An elderly woman crossed the street, marched over to her, and confessed that she once supported Fidel Castro. When I was young, I did the same thing, hoping for change, but look what happened, she said. Comunista, comunista. Vasquez assured her the U.S. Constitution and the country's love affair with capitalism will prevent Obama from suddenly morphing into a Castro monster. The woman looked at Vasquez incredulously, then returned to her black beans and yellow rice. How do you like that? She returned to her black beans and yellow riso.
All right.
Here's one from the fake Johnny Rotten. Voted at 8:15 this morning, a total of only 45 minutes. It was a pleasure to be part of a Democratic victory. Love you lots, Johnny Rotten in Palm Beach County. They must open the polls early in Palm Beach because they sure wouldn't be open 8 o'clock in the morning in Dade or Broward. And Dade this week, they're opening at 11, right? And Broward, it's 10, I believe.
Okay.
Chris?
Uh-huh.
Here's one from the fake Randy Rhodes. I noticed that all the fake email addresses are at yahoo.com. Do you think there's any particular reason for that, or?
Because it's really easy. It's just as easy to make a fake Gmail or what's the Hotmail address.
In addition to which, Randy has got her name spelled wrong. Rhandi. Isn't that a shame? I knew she was a little bit short on, Anyway, she says, hello, Neil. How are you? It's been way too long since we last spoke. I'm afraid this is not going to be a nice conversation. I understand you've been stealing my material, such as bits and sound drops, etc. This is unacceptable. Neil, why would you do something like this to me?
No!
Broward!
You were like a mentor to me, and now you steal my material. You're a bitter old fag, Neil. You're mad because you never got syndicated, and mad because you're coming close to the age of death. Stop stealing my material, you fat you fag, or I will sue. Your friend, Randy. Misspelled. Isn't that great?
Broward!
Marty says, how about a birthday shout-out? It's my birthday today. Well, and that thing about shout-out, if I hear it, I'm going to say it again. Now everybody is saying that all over the place. Well, why do people say that?
Why do people say ding-dong daddy? I don't know.
No, I'm serious. Why do they keep saying that?
People say stuff. People reinvent the language.
It's just
hey,
stupid.
Your generation did it too, Gramps.
Shout out my ass.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Joyce would get upset if I did that. Some days I do that a lot. When I was down there, I was farting like an elephant. I don't know, because I kept eating all the time. Just eating and eating and feeding and eating. My God. I would have been dead a long time ago if I was down there. So this crap about, well, you can't do your show in Miami. I can do my show wherever the hell I want to do. How do you like that? They can duplicate this neat little studio anywhere they want to put it. You know what I mean?
Rectum.
Yeah, that's where they can stick it. Anyway, Marty says, long-time listener to the show, long-time friend of yours. We went to Brighton #1, Eagle Cove together. I believe our mothers are aunts or girlfriends. Long-time friend of yours. Good luck to us all, says Marty. Well, how come if Marty, and you know what his email address? nolife@so-and-so.
Oh, at least that's accurate.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you think that if I went to school, first of all, I went to Brighton Elementary, not Brighton, I don't know what he's talking about, Brighton #1.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go to Eagle Cove. Well, why do people just make crap up like that? I didn't go to Eagle Cove. I went to, what was his name? Summer camp. Marty, I forget the name. I was 16 years old. It was 50 years ago. In the Adirondacks. Oh, anyway, Marty, I'm sure you'll email back and give me your last name and all the details about your shoe size and all the other good stuff. And boy, talk about an accurate email address.
I have no life.
Oh, God. Don't forget, doors open at 4:30 this afternoon. Early vote for change rally for Barack Obama at the Yenta Center in Sunrise, where the Panthers play. You going?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Why not? I got a really nifty idea for you. You could stop at Steak and Shake on the way.
Or instead of?
Instead of what?
Instead of going to the game?
To what game? This isn't a hockey game. This is Obama is going to be there to speak.
Oh.
It's a rally, Sally.
Okay, then I will.
No,
you
won't.
No, I don't.
You won't, and certainly Chris won't. Chris probably don't get into Broward County too much.
I've also got class tonight.
Class?
C.
What, Spanish class?
No.
Well, what kind of class is this?
It's computer class.
And what are you going to do with that?
Well, hopefully get a degree and then eventually maybe get a second job since this place.
And then you're going to leave us? Is that what you're threatening to do now?
No, I don't want to leave you at all. I just need to try to get a second.
Oh, my God. No wonder he's starting to disappear half the time.
Second job since this place pays like crap.
Well, how can you afford a second job when you can't even keep up the time with the first one? They're working you 8 days a week.
I can keep up the time here.
Boy, he sure changed his tune from yesterday, didn't he?
Hey, I'm working 6 days a week. What else do you want?
7.
Too bad.
Why, is this like difficult manual labor? Are you like working on an assembly line? Do you realize what an easy job you got?
Yes, I definitely realize what an easy job
I mean, I realize what an easy job I got. I used to have. Before Joe Bell came to town. He made my life ain't worth 4 cents. Thanks to Joe Bell. We used to have some fun. Remember those days, George?
I do, like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Used to be a pleasure. Used to be fun as all hell to come into work and get a few laughs and get some calls and talk to the natives out there and the foreigners, the illegals. What's Lou Dobbs? I think we ought to elect Lou Dobbs as president. He'll kill all the illegals. Just line them all up and shoot their ass.
Sure.
He's a crazy person, you know, Lou Dobbs.
Yeah, that's all right.
He is.
That's fine.
He's your hero, but he's a crazy person. That's just because you hate Mexicans.
No, I don't. I only met one I didn't like. I told you about him.
Yeah. The verdict is still out with me. The jury's out. But I have lots of doubt.
Every other one I've encountered was a very hardworking, honest person.
Armando says, I sent you a reply telling you it was on the Sundance Channel on Monday. Sorry I said Wednesday. It was on the Iraq occupation blunders. What? Wrong, Neil. Are you partaking on the ganja with my fellow cube? Oh, he's one of your fellow cubes.
I see.
Ron says, you are too cocky, Neil. Obama is mostly a black man. Don't underestimate the power of racism. But he will lose Florida. Polls in several states are tightening. Ain't a done deal. Everyone has to vote. Oh, I forgot you aren't voting, says smart-ass Ron. Let me say it again. It's going to be an electoral landslide. Even George believes that.
Yep.
But Ron must be another one of those fools trying to talk himself into believing, oh, it ain't over till it's over. Guess what? Even the McCain people know it's over. Oh, and here's Jonathan in Boca who keeps sending me this thing about Zeitgeist Addendum, Part 2 of the Zeitgeist movie, and a link to it. They get further into the financial system and the problems with it. It's great. Check it out. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks, Jonathan. I won't delete that. According to the polls, North Carolina's got Obama 48.3, McCain 47. Yeah, it's close in North Carolina, but Obama's ahead, where he shouldn't even be competitive. Shouldn't be even in the race. Let's see. The polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but this doesn't say where. The early voting polls are not open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It doesn't say where. Is that in Palm Beach? See, if you wanted to tell me what you're talking about, it might make it a little bit more meaningful for the audience, for those people out there. John McCain says, hey, Neil, what about my T-Rex arms? Hey, what about that, Sarah? Hey. That was embarrassing. Well, his whole campaign is embarrassing, and she's beyond embarrassing. This really gives you something to think about, Barbara from Hollywood, and you know what it is? It says voting points, and it goes on and on and on and on. You know, something she copied from something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's one from Rob who says, good morning. How come gas is only 91.5 cents in Toronto at the station on Danforth? Thanks and great show. Your biggest fan, Rob in Toronto. 91.5 cents a liter, that is, of course, keep in mind. And isn't it just a coincidence that just before the U.S. election, gas is dropping like a rock? Just a coincidence, isn't it?
Yep.
Here's one from Snapperhead. I've heard Geldy twice calling you a miserable old man on 560 QM in the past month. He's got to be the biggest ass kisser I've ever heard or seen. You should see him on FSN Cable Sports Talk Show with Kimba Beaucamper and Danny Cannell. What a real turd he is. He looks and sounds like a little kid, except for the hair plugs. And his broadcast of the Panther games are unbearable. I'd like to take him out to center ice at intermission and castrate him at the next game. Now that's entertainment. Jimmy Syphilis' voice is suicide-inducing, and he's a Republican cheerleader, just like his shower butt buddy, Mad Dog yada yada. Really sorry to see that Mad Dog's ratings are so low. This is the beginning of the end for Mad Dog. He sucks. Have a nice day, says Karl Marx. It's signed Karl Marx. Thanks, Karl. And quit picking on the Mad Dog, even though he is a card-carrying Nazi. 12:13 at 560. Don't let the mandates vote, by the way. It's dangerous. Keep them locked in the building next Tuesday. Please.
Okay.
Are you fudge packing?
Hailing for from Alaska. Hailing for from Alaska. From Alaska, married to an Eskimo. From Alaska, a hockey mom bimbo. Sarah stumbled through some colleges after leaving Idaho. She met a guy named Todd, who's a drunken Eskimo. She modeled in her bathing suit in a local beauty show. Then she got a gig in the media, broadcasting for sport holes. She ran to be the mayor in a town of 52. Then became the governor of a state where the girls are few. She kept the money for the earmarks that she got approved. And Sarah named her children Trick and Track and Diggity Doo. Where the bathtubs are filling up with crank in Wasilla. From Alaska, married to an Eskimo. From Alaska, a hockey mom bimbo.
Oh, yeah, she'd be the best. Okay, now, why didn't you tell me? See, because I look at the Sun Sentinel and the Herald, and they both suck.
Yeah? Why didn't I tell you that? I thought you knew that already.
No, about the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. thing.
Oh.
Which, of course, it should have been that way in the begining. But your gay governor, he finally got in there.
Gay.
Opened it all up, and that guarantees now Obama's going to win. But it's kind of a mixed bag, because there's an article somebody sent me about the fact that we're getting this massive turnout of dark-complected voters. They're also going to be voting yes on Prop 1. Prop 2. They're going to be voting yes on the no gay marriage amendment.
Okay.
Vote no on Amendment 2. Unless, of course, you're a bigot. And, of course, dark folks tend to be extraordinarily homophobic, except for Little Richard.
Well, it was rock and roll and drugs that led him to homosexuality.
Is that what it was?
That's what he said.
Hey, Richard, Dick.
You fairy.
Hey, Neil, just wanted to let you know a fellow coworker went about 10 a.m. to vote, and there was hardly any line. He told me there was only a 15-minute wait. The Miami Beach location is at City Hall, 1700 Convention Center Drive. My wife and I are big fans of yours, and George, too. We've listened since you were on the nights on WINZ. We're Democrats and proud of it. We were Republicans back in the late 80s before we started listening to you. Our son is 15 years old, attends Coral Gables Senior High. He's been volunteering for the Obama campaign in the Gables and for local state representative Luis Garcia. Mr. Garcia is running for re-election, District 107. His rival is a former lobbyist who worked for Mayor Pincus Pequena and made a couple $1 million under the Miami International Airport expansion. By the way, he took Eliana Crotch and Diaz Bafart brothers, does not put the word Republican on his banners. I can't, it's chopped off. Keep up the great work, go Obama. Happy 66th birthday, Neil. May you have many, 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 many more. That's right. I'm going to live to be 200 just to piss off all these negatory, hostile bastards. You notice how much of this stuff that we get on here is really negative? Sour. Yep. Oh, we don't understand why you don't want to be in South Florida. Sour. Negative. Bah! Who wants that? I got enough tourists of my own, just like everybody else does in life. I don't need any added like that. What do you want? Now, here's an interesting, well, not interesting, a pathetic email. Wouldn't it be ironic if McCain wins the popular vote but still loses? What would you be saying about the Electoral College then? The same thing that I always have said about the Electoral College. It's a piece of crap. And the last time I can recall, Al Gore won the popular vote in 2000, but he lost the election because they fixed Florida and he lost the Electoral College. So I'll be saying exactly the same thing as I said then, only McCain isn't going to win the popular vote. No chance. Also, it seems the Dade County Supervisor of Elections is much better than Broward's. I agree with that. Broward! Just say no to Brenda Snipes. Oh, it wasn't her fault. Well, you know what? Too bad. 17 voting locations in Broward. Well, what a farce. What a slap in the face. And quit picking on poor little Geldy, okay? He's squeaking his way to the top. Him and that dumb frog, Denise Potvin. Mark in Miami says, all polling places throughout the state are now open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Gay Governor Charlie Crist must really be pissed off at McCain because he enacted a law yesterday requiring the early voting sites for the entire state to be open at these times, basically helping ensure Obama will carry Florida. Well, that's what happens when you get a governor, even a Republican one. He turns out to be a turncoat. He turns tail.
Rectum.
Ass. I understand that they're going to rename the Florida Turnpike the Hershey Highway in honor of your current governor. Is that true, or did I just make that up?
You just made that up?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Here's a whole bunch of stuff. The gay governor increased the early voting hours, but he is still gay. But, B-U-T-T. When's the wedding, Charlie? You fairy, says Rob. In Fort Lauderdale. I think the wedding's been put on hold. Somebody's holding it. Here's one that says, I was out in Brickell and South Beach last night. These wimps were bundled up wearing scarves and winter coats. Nobody buying ice cream. Restaurants that have outdoor seating, which are packed on the most humid nights of summer, were mostly empty unless they had those outdoor torch heaters. I looked at the clock on Lincoln Road, and the temperature said 61 degrees. To me, 61 degrees is like heaven. If it's not windy.
Mm-hmm.
See, one thing about temperature, and well, we discussed this last year. 30.
About 30, man.
Isn't really that cold if there's no wind at all. You know, if you have a warm jacket or coat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I'm hit.
It really isn't.
Right.
The whole thing with temperature is the wind. The wind. Sunny, man, it's beautiful. I hope Castronova gets the Toronto weather right, because, boy, if he doesn't, they're going to, be all over his ass. Nice billboards, though, by the way, too. Really colorful. Not. You seen their billboards? Paul and Old Ron on the worst billboards I've ever seen in my life. And the worst part of it is Cheap Channel owns those billboards, and that's the best they can do. Well, I guess for them. It's 38 plus 3 and going all the way up to 41 or 2 today. 61 degrees and like a bunch of pansies. Oh, gee, it's so cold. Here's one that says, sorry for not being clear. It's all early voting polls. Jace, the article was in the Sun Sentinel this morning. No, it's my bad. I didn't know about it because nobody told me, and I was trying to get some information. And of course, the Sun Sentinel on that front page, there's no news on there. And that's why they have the masthead like about 18th of an inch letters now. Just a heads up, Chris has ordered all the polls open 7 a.m. to 7 this week. Oh, okay. Thanks. You hear that? We just got a heads up. Dear Neil God, Charlie says the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., yada, yada, yada. They'll be open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And today's the last day to request an absentee ballot in Broward. Thanks, Jane. Oh, here's one that says, did your stream feed take a major dump, or is it my unique problem? Let me go back to that and see. No, it's up. It's just doing fine. It's your problem. Oh, here's one from Raw who says, hey, Neil, what happened to footy? Holla back. Holla back. He got fired.
Show me yours, I'll show you mine. This is Eyewitness News.
McCain's released a new attack ad.
John McCain proudly served in Vietnam, but Barack Obama didn't. Instead, he played chess with grade school children.
Because he was 10 years old on the high school chess team.
When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, where was Barack Obama? Nowhere to be found.
Because he wasn't born yet.
When the British attacked Lexington and Concord, where was Barack Obama? Nowhere to be found.
John McCain was only 7, but he still bit off a British soldier's foot.
Barack Obama, he just doesn't care.
Who wins the World Series? He likes both teams.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Don't think Obama's camp is taking the attack lying down.
John McCain.
I've coughed up scarier stuff than that.
John McCain.
I just want attention.
John McCain.
I got a bingo! What do I win?
A banana!
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Both those ads, by the way, are running in fewer than a dozen battleground states.
12:31 at 560 WQAM. Happy Wednesday to you. 6 days away from the presidential election. We got the end of the World Series tonight, the end of the last game. I think it'll be over tonight. Don't you, Fat Chris?
Probably. I hope so.
2-2. They pick it up in the 6th inning. And anybody who says, well, I think they ought to start the game over again from the beginning has got to be a moron, okay? Yeah, let's just change the rules as we go along. Stupid bastards. And you know that Marty who said that he was a longtime friend of mine and went to Brighton number 1 in Eagle Cove and yada yada?
What?
Marty
in Eagle Cove?
My longtime friend who went to Brighton number 1 with me. And remember I said that he should send another email and tell me who the hell he is?
You did.
He did not.
Oh.
I'm just telling you. That's
what
another
a tease,
BS.
man. I thought you were about to say something.
Yeah, longtime friend of yours, right. See, anybody who would be a longtime real friend of mine would have put a last name on there. I don't remember going to school with anybody named Marty, at least not in elementary school. In high school, I went to school with a kid named Marty Schneider, who killed himself. Seems like there was a lot of suicides in my school in Canandaigua. Well, you know, if you lived a lot of your life in Canandaigua, New York, you'd probably want to kill yourself, too. What a horseball place. Leave it to my father to open up a business in Canandaigua, New York. Oh, God. Here's the poll so far. We got 245 votes on our new poll. And what do we have on the first one? 1,000 even, right? That should be pretty easy. Even Chris can figure that out.
Uh-huh.
So we got
1,005, actually.
We got what?
1,005.
Is that true or that jive?
All true, Daddy-O.
What's the gayest thing in sports? I'm only going to read the double-digit ones. Patting the ass, 65. Patting the old,
Rectum.
Get your hand off his ass, you fairy.
You fairy.
Male skater costume, 43. Oh, that figure skating is just really gay. Showering together, 30.
About 30, man.
Wrestling, 14. That was a late addition, thanks to George. Holding hands in a huddle, 12. Hands under center, 11. Yeah, I wonder what they do when they put their hands under the center's ass. Don't you think it's kind of strange when you see a guy walk up? Well, one guy bends down, and then the other guy gets up right behind him and puts his hands under his ass.
Yeah.
Don't you find that a little bit gay?
Not a little.
Oh, very?
Yeah.
Mucho?
See.
The Dow is up over 100 points. That's because Barack Obama is speaking.
That's why I'm running. That's why you're here. That's why we're going to win on November 4th. So I just want everybody to keep this in mind. When you're talking to your friends and your neighbors, they're saying, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. You just ask them, what is John McCain going to do that's different from George Bush? Just ask them one thing. I mean, if they're satisfied with what's happened over the last 8 years, they should vote for McCain. But ask them, what good idea does he have for our future? You don't know. You know his attacks on me. You know the bad things he's saying about me.
Communist,
but
socialist,
ask yourself, can
terrorist,
you name one thing
Schwarzer
that John McCain is offering to improve this economy?
Hate. A lot of good hate, man. Heavy-duty hate. That's what John McCain offers. And, of course, don't forget about Sarah. So, Sambo beat the bitch. That was your observation after Obama beat Swillery in the primaries.
Right.
Sambo beat the bitch. Ain't that lovely? And I thought she's a good religious... Well, you know, she's one of your religious people.
Yes, one of my religious people, that's right.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that your area of expertise?
Sure it is. What do you want to know?
I don't want to
teach you how to speak in tongues?
Not like Sarah.
No, nobody does it quite like Sarah. It's all about the tongue.
Hi, guys and gals. I'm Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. When I'm not shooting caribou from a helicopter hovering 50 feet off the ground, I'm a 44-year-old wife, mother, and future grandmother of an illegitimate child conceived out of wedlock. But I'm also an endorser, and I'm here today to tell you folks about an exciting new perfume for you gals out there. It's called Pentecostal Perfume.
See, she does it better.
No question.
Well, wait till you hear this. Sunrise officials fear Election Day disaster.
Oh, my God.
Wow. It's in the Scum Sentinel. It's actually a news story, and it's in the Sun Sentinel. It's very short, though. On those 6 pages, they don't have room for too many stories. They got to get all the ads in, you know. In fact, there's an ad on this for Pinecrest School. Deputy Mayor Roger Wishner requested an absentee ballot for the November 4th presidential election almost 2 weeks ago. As of yesterday, he was still waiting and worrying about whether it would arrive in time. It's probably in the same batch with mine. Wishner noted the long waits endured by early voters and said he doubted seniors would be able to stand for hours waiting to vote on November 4th. It's going to be a disaster on Election Day, he said. At his urging, the Sunrise Commission agreed last night to send an emergency resolution to Governor Charlie Crist. Well, they took care of it. I don't want another Jay Leno story about Broward not counting the ballots, Commissioner Sheila Alou said. Broward! The measure passed 4-0 with Mayor Stephen Farron absent. Sunrise sent a similar resolution to Snipes in August, expressing dismay over delayed results in the primary election August 26th. Farron, who's running for Broward Circuit Judge, then joined Wishner and Alou in complaining that voters were kept waiting on results in an election with a lowly 10% turnout. A much higher turnout is expected in November, it says. What a perspicacious observation by Susanna Bryan in the Scum Sentinel. A higher turnout than 10% is expected in next week. Takes a hell of an education to figure that out. Oh, Susanna. Very sad. Randy Michaels destroys the newspapers. He destroyed the radio business. Now he's destroying the newspaper business. And if he and his buddies there actually own the Tribune Company, that means they also own the Cubs. How about that Cubby bandwagon, Chris?
Kill it.
How are they doing?
I hate
How
the Cubs.
Doing? You what?
I hate the Cubs.
Why is that?
And most of their fans.
I just hate that one guy. Are you on the bandwagon, Neil? The Cubbies, watch WGN tonight, 8 o'clock. Cubbies. I don't hear from that guy anymore. Of course, we're not taking any calls. I could. You wanna?
Up to you, brother.
I'm asking George, not you.
Oh, okay.
Well,
George don't care.
I don't.
You don't what? Don't want or you don't care?
I don't care.
Either
right,
one.
First time.
257 votes on your poll. What are we going for now? 350?
Sounds good to me.
Poll? That would be pretty damn good. That would be like, over 1,300 all told. Of course, it's cheating. The Dow's up 118, speaking of numbers. It's up 118. 91.83 on the Dow. I told every one of you it was a buying opportunity. Steal money and buy a lot of schlock stock. Isn't that what I told them?
That's what you said.
I can't even begin to tell you how aggravated I was. A couple days ago, I get a message from down in the house that there was a call from a certain solicitor at a certain bank that I bank with. I don't want to say it on the air because they spend a lot of money on this station if they're still in business. At any rate, and this guy was soliciting my business. Oh, I see you have large deposits there and and I'm just wondering, we have these interest-bearing... no, thanks. Oh, you're the Neil Rogers from the radio. Yeah. Go away. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself the same thing I thought about that guy that claims he went to school with me. And also about your friend P.R. Ralph that's giving me a song to dance who wants to interfere with my ballot.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
WQAM, hello. QAM. Not there. QAM, hello. Is the pot open or is it closed? Oh. WQAM, hello.
Afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about them Cubbies?
Yeah. They suck.
Yeah, wait till next year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the same a-hole.
No.
Yes.
There's more of us out here.
What does that mean?
There's a lot of Cub fans.
So who cares?
Not White Sox fans.
Not us. The Cubs suck.
Have a good day, sweetheart.
See ya. Yeah. Boy, you're right, Chris. They are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Even Harry knew.
The Cubs suck.
The sports leader.
Ay, Luis Miguel, play it, baby.
Okay, we have to interrupt the proceedings for breaking news. High-speed chase.
Want to hear a news sounder?
White minivan being chased by police right now. A chase that began in Miami. We're reporting a robbery suspect who's driving on the shoulder of this. That is not even a lane. No, it's not. We've got Carrie Sanders, who is
I had
based in
several
that
emails
area,
about
on
this.
the phone.
All right.
to talk about,
Breaking news, high-speed chase.
Carrie, we were told that this vehicle is near I-95 or on 95 as this man just wipes across, or
Just
this
past
woman
Sample Road
wipes
exit, by the way.
the freeway there. What can you tell us about this?
Wow, he's going all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm trying to catch the signs as they go along here. I'm not sure that's Interstate 95. It might be 595 as I look at this. I really can't tell from the point of view. But
how could it be 595 and it's Sample Road?
I did speak to the Broward Sheriff's Office because this chase is now taking place in Broward, which is the major city in the community here in Fort Lauderdale. The Broward Sheriff's Office is not involved in the chase. What they are doing,
look like anybody's involved in the chase.
Positioning deputies along the route, trying to keep cars from getting in the way. So we may see an on-ramp coming up here where we see a Broward deputy off to the side with the lights going.
This ain't nothing like OJ, I'll tell you that.
The Broward Sheriff's Office says their chase policy is if there's a violent felony, they do indeed engage in a chase. And so we know that at this point it is the Miami Beach Police Department, I believe, that is involved in the chase. They may have a similar policy. And let's see if we can spot a sign there. Did you guys catch that sign? I'm sorry, it's going so quickly.
Yeah, and they go by so fast, and because the focus is really on this this SUV, Carrie, we're not seeing it. But what we're seeing now is the SUV driving once again on a shoulder. It looks like he's heading toward an off-ramp, and now, back on the freeway once again, where it looks like traffic has been cleared. No,
yeah, I mean, what we have here is if this is 595. That heads east and west and heads out to a community called Weston. So he may have, let's see there.
That sign just said the off-ramp to 869. Does that sound familiar to you, Carrie?
Yeah, that would be, indeed. He's out on 595 then, I believe. So he's heading out towards Weston, which will run into Interstate 75, Boulevard, if I'm following this correctly. This means that he came... No, Hillsborough Boulevard.
Yeah.
How can it be 595, Carrie, if it says Hillsborough Boulevard, you idiot?
Now we see right behind him. Well, at least he was thinking about it. But you see this police cruiser right behind this. And, Carrie, I'm not sure if you've been watching throughout this, but...
it's either 95 or the Turnpike, right?
Right.
And he's going north.
This vehicle trying to force him off the road while there were several cars.
It's 95. They had the HOV. There's no HOV on the Turnpike.
Passenger vehicles on this interstate are not going as fast as they were on the other interstate. It looks like the chase itself.
Let's hire Johnny Dark to go I-95.
Interstate 95, so I stand corrected. It is on Interstate 95, heading north.
See, what did we just tell you, Kerry, you idiot?
Exiting Broward. If he continues at this rate, he'll be exiting Broward County shortly and going into
he's going north on 595, which is an east-west highway.
Straight up the HOV lane. It's kind of light this time of day, but this is a clean shot. I mean, a lot of this road, as you can tell, has been rebuilt recently.
Thank God for that.
The lanes are extremely wide and clear.
Isn't that nice?
But, but if he follows this route, clearly the officers have the possibility of putting some other units ahead of him. In Florida, they use a radio system that allows for what they call mutual aid. So the police officers here would be able to contact officers from other communities to get out there and possibly put a rolling blockade of vehicles in front to slow him down.
It looks like he's just lost the officers who were tailing him. He just pulled a quick move off to the right and onto another freeway. There it goes. And Carrie, do we know who is right now in charge of this high-speed chase here?
Remember what Sonny said, so let's those men lose our ass going around the block.
Did the initial chase, and that
there was a porker sitting there. Did you see him?
Police Department.
Yep.
Yeah, and I should explain too, Tamron and Carrie, that I'm a little ahead of viewers. I'm watching two feeds. One feed that's coming in live, and we're delaying our feed a little bit, just because in these cases we're always very careful about showing viewers anything that becomes too graphic.
Right, but this is the problem now. He's heading off now onto the side.
So they're running the video on delay, and she's
this is where
doing
the real
live.
problem becomes, because there's not only other cars. There's people in crosswalks. We just see them, barreling across crosswalks through red lights, and this is where the real danger to everybody else comes into play. On the highway, of course, there's other vehicles, but it's really pedestrians, and it's nice weather out today. It's in the 70s. People are out.
Woo! And we're just told by our producers that this chase is just south of the Boca Raton Airport right now, Carrie.
Yeah, on 595.
Okay, well, this is you can tell from the pictures, a lot of manicured yards, nice houses, and the roads are very clean and
Why does he keep telling us the road is very clean? Is there some significance in that?
Watch this move right in between these two cars, and then a little turn to the right. He goes off the road onto the grass, through an intersection. Look at this, a quick
Typical
right
Florida driver.
Onto another lane. I have yet to see the police officers here, Tamron.
No, you know what, Contessa, it's interesting because they were and have been stationed at different points, but obviously their lives could be in danger as well. We don't know if this person is armed or whatnot. The only time that we've actually seen an officer
the media
get out
is sick and needs help badly.
Amen, sister.
An intersection, and we saw an officer jump out of his cruiser with his hand on his gun, but that officer...
It looks like they got home.
This suspect just went around the traffic and went on from there.
What?
We still have Carrie
They're at
on
home.
the phone. And Carrie, give us some more detail here about the assistance that the other officer...
Tamron, one second here. We're watching here.
He's getting out of the home.
He's getting out.
Two people... Passenger, our shot
and
just
now they
went
lost
out,
the picture
right
on
before
MSNBC.
that, we saw someone getting out on the passenger side, another individual on the driver's side, and now they're in a neighborhood.
Yep, you see him running. Here he is. He's running. The chopper has a great shot. We haven't seen the police catching up since he made that quick move to get off of what looked like I-95. But here's the
trying
suspect.
To get into this home.
They're trying to get in.
Yeah, they're trying to get into
Who knows whether this is an area that they know or not, or have they just decided that there's enough of the running that they're going to try and get inside and hide it. But you know, if they're trying to hide, it's not going to work because the police are monitoring.
Yeah, the police look like they're right on the scene, don't they? Not.
Also, their own chopper is up, Contessa, right now. So in addition to the television choppers, you have the authorities. But you know, the natural instinct is to worry or wonder if there are people in these homes right now.
Let's give a shout out to the police and the chopper.
This could again be another.
What do you say?
Dangerous situation if there are people.
Give them a shout out, Fat Chris.
They are going in and around there trying to obviously hide inside one of these.
I didn't hear it.
Them
All right.
The
yo.
Just the closeness of the homes, the proximity of the.
What?
I don't really do that.
Oh, I don't either.
I'm sorry.
This particular chopper shot.
And now what we're seeing is, I think I just saw a police squad car pulling up outside.
Well, it's about
here,
freaking time already.
Officers, you're seeing
there
them
we
right
go. There's some pork.
Top of
You see
your
the pork?
screen. These officers now approaching this home. It appears to be a neighborhood in Boca Raton, Florida. This is north of Miami. A chase that began in Miami. We're told that this is a robbery suspect from Miami Beach, a robbery that occurred in Miami.
I could be wrong, but maybe they're like looking for hostages, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
They're going to try and track down the driver of this SUV minivan, but we saw as well someone getting out on the passenger side.
Right. And let's see what this is. This an officer in a white shirt? Because now they've got their guns drawn. Again, this is a residential neighborhood, and they have spread out the authorities here in pursuit of these suspects here. They have. I'm sorry. Repeat that. Okay, there's another shot apparently of one of the suspects, Contessa, now in custody.
Look at that. That sure was a good move, huh?
We are seeing here, but our producers are telling me that there's another shot of a suspect in custody.
We actually
one of the suspects.
We actually just showed what appeared to be a couple officers walking very slowly behind a man who may have been the suspect. And now wait, watch as this chopper shot zooms in, and what you're going to see here, I think we've got it right
there
here.
It is. That's the shot.
Here
That's what they were referring to.
Yep.
This is the video. But there was another person.
And thank God it's a white guy.
A white shirt on, I thought we
and
saw.
long hair. So was it a woman? Was it a guy with long hair? It looked like in that immediate moment, it looked like a woman to me. But here's the guy.
Take a look at this.
And watch this on the left, the moments ago when they got out and ran.
That looks like the suspect right on the left.
Nice palm trees, by the way, huh?
Yeah.
Nice foliage.
In custody
right now. If we can re-rack that tape, too, we can see that moment when these two suspects got out of the white car and maybe take a look at...
Well, let me ask you. They got the one. And what happened to the other one?
I don't know.
I don't know. We call this a perp walk. There they are, walking him back to the
They're doing the
car.
perp walk.
He'd be under arrest, presumably, at least for this high-speed chase, if not for the robbery.
Okay, well, that was pretty clever of them to whip in there and avoid the police, wasn't it? Not?
Mm-hmm.
See, I just don't understand it. I mean, why wouldn't they go into it's a good thing they got caught. That's what we want. We want the evildoers to get justice. Right?
Right.
And for justice, you know where we're going.
Don Corleone.
That's it. You got it. I think what they ought to do with S-bags like that leave people in danger, all those people's lives, just take them in somewhere and blow his brains out if they could find him. In other words, put the gun up his and blow his brains out. Do you think that's a good way to do justice? Let's get back to the show, okay? I mean, that killed about 10 minutes, and I don't know. I had several emails about that. Oh, a high-speed chase, Bubba, on TV. And one emailer said on Fox. I don't turn on Fox. I wouldn't care if it was the end of the world and Fox was the only one covering it. I wouldn't put on Fox. Fox News is an oxymoron. There is no such thing as Fox News.
I like
what?
Olbermann calls it Fox Noise and Fix News. That's
but
great.
You know what? He's a good one to talk because even as liberal as I am and as much as I like him, MSNBC is just as bad on the liberal side as Fox is on the right-wing side.
Mm-hmm.
So what's good for the goose should be left in gander. I mean, what the hell is that all about? Just blatantly partisan, as opposed to pretending, making any pretense of presenting things in an objective way. Why the hell would we want to do that? So anyway, this Raw guy says, what's the gayest thing in sports? Watching a bunch of guys in tight pants chase a ball around and pat each other on the ass.
Rectum.
And then talking about it for 3 hours a day on the radio as if it was the most important thing going on in the world. That is correct. Sports talk is evil. And what's with interviewing the players while they're changing their clothes after the game in the locker room? Closeted gay jock sniffers, all of them, he says. Well, that's the way you see them naked, Am I right? Oh, I got so excited about the car chase, I knocked this down and off the floor.
Oh, damn it. Try it again.
We'll
still give you credit for the line.
Okay.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
One moment, please.
Oh, not
All
again.
our operators are busy right now.
Not
Your
again.
call will be answered in the order in which it was received.
Is it, did it die?
Un momento, por favor.
Correct. So it's restarting.
Su llamada es muy importante.
What do you mean it's recharging?
Restarting.
Oh.
And I wanted to go to the bathroom during that break.
Oh.
I've been saving up.
Technically challenged at QAM, where nothing works, including management.
Hello, this is Arnold. This is not a tumor. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
This is John McCain, my friends, and here's the case I bring before you, my prisoners. I still have a pulse, my friends. I know what it's like to struggle growing up, my friends. Yes, I said struggle. It was rough. Why, it was a very heart-rendering upbringing. You see, my prisoners, my father was just a lowly 4-star admiral, my friends. So when someone says to me they don't have health insurance, I say, so President, my friends, I will give you a $5,000 tax break for the insurance company, and it would amount to any more than that, my friend. I'm John McCain, and I approve of my supporters chanting, "Kill him." That's right, my friend. Go ahead and kill him. It's a white man's world, my friends. And it's a real easy way for Sarah to win.
Well, the Dow is up, but it's only up 51 points. Not too exciting. Now, who's going to be anchoring our election night coverage on QAM? I got some really exciting news.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Bello, will you shut up? Bello Snyder. Remember I looked at that email from the fake Marty, my friend, allegedly, that I went to school with, who I never heard of? And I couldn't think of the name of the guy whose summer camp I went to when I was 16 years old, so that would have been 1958. Bello Snyder. So I Googled it. You know, you can Google any name of, like, anybody who ever lived, practically, and there's something about him on there. Like Macy Pippick. Started as a boys' camp in 1943 by Bello Snyder on a camp property originally developed as Lo Non Wo. Had a primarily Jewish clientele. Many of the counselors were from the Columbia Teachers College. One, program director Sidney Jacobs, came to Eagle Cove. Oh, it was Eagle Cove. Excuse me, Marty. after 10 years at Racket Lake Camp. That must have been the name of the camp, Eagle Cove. I don't remember that. But I still don't know Marty.
No.
I know Marty Sussman from the comic book store, but that would know Marty Sussman. Marty Sussman's been dead probably for 300 years. In 1955, the camp had a capacity for 100 boys ages 6 to 15 at a cost of $550 a season. In 1989, the camp had... See, my parents, when I was 16, they sent me to summer camp to butch me up. Didn't work, though. Fooled them. I had a good time, though. It was my first time away from home, and I remember the first day I was so like, oh, yeah, I'm away from home. Insecure. And then after that, I didn't want to go home. And it was on a place in the Adirondacks called... The name of the town was Inlet, New York, and the lake was called Fourth Lake. And the water was as cold as ice. And you jump in that thing, and boy, it would just, yeah.
Yeah. Purple.
Speaking of that, now keep in mind I'm 16 years old, and this is my first time away from home, and first time with other kids my same age, a whole bunch of them. And in the evening, when you get ready to go to bed, or, I think we showered together. They always make kids do that, like the swimming class.
Right.
Swimming naked. They like to do that because I think they want to get a peek. I know I sure did. And the first thought that came to mind as I saw some of these guys running around in the showers was this.
My God, is that thing real?
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be like that? Boy, somebody left me waiting online. Somebody shortchanged me.
Poor you.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that.
Oh,
Eagle Cove.
The biggest one I've ever seen in person, not on a...
The biggest what?
The biggest one was on a very short guy about my height. And I'm thinking, I didn't know I didn't know you could do that. I had to complain to God.
Oh, short guys sometimes are very...
I didn't know. I thought everything was in proportion until I met this guy.
No. Dow is up 70 points, 91.35. McCain calling on the L.A. Times to make video of Obama and a group of Palestinians public. Oh, my God. Just, what did I tell you? These last 6 days, they're just going to go ape-schmidt. They're going to go nuts.
Do you know anything about this Palestinian leader? I mean, do you know anything about him and whether, how close he is to Barack Obama and whether he is a credible figure or a radical? What is your
No, I don't. I can tell you that he's a professor at Columbia University. He has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with this campaign. That Barack Obama's position, of course, is unquestionable on the security of Israel. It just goes beyond challenge at this point. And people now...
That's it. Scare the Jews now. That's the deal. Here's our poll. Chris don't seem awfully interested in this poll. 311 votes.
We're going to do it.
I don't hear you. We're going to do what?
Sorry, I'm messing with this new computer again.
With the audio vault?
No. The other computer that died on me, they got it reset up again.
What computer?
The work computer.
What does that mean? Can you translate for me what he's talking about?
All right, we have the computer that has the audio vault on it, then I have the computer that I use for the, to look stuff up on, to have the web page up and everything. Add stuff to the poll.
Answer
I got to hand it to a Flea on Monday. I had him add one or two things to the poll. He was able to do it.
Yep, I showed him how to.
Well, good work there, Flea. And you, I can't work on Monday, and I sure can't work on Friday. And Clarence says I got to go home with Jolly Joe again and take a shower. So was that true last Friday? You were at Jolly Joe's house, or was he at your house?
Neither.
Didn't have you all lathered up and slopped down like a pig? Although
definitely not.
In the case of the two of you, it could go either way, as far as lathering up and slop down like a hog. That Jolly Joe, he's one hell of a sweat hog.
You sound jealous.
No, I am not. Oh, the thought of it makes me want to caca. What is the gayest thing in sports? I'm reading the double-digit ones because there's 600 choices on Charlie B's poll. 313 votes. So we got 1318. Oh, we already went over 1,300 votes. Let's go home.
See ya.
I'll have some kishki for lunch. Because these people are tearing out my kishkis. Did we take some calls? We took a couple, right?
Yes.
And then we had, happy birthday. Yeah, and then that was the end of that. Oh, my phone's ringing. I'll be back.
Where you going? I'll be back. Bastard. Should just let there be dead air. That'll serve him. That'll serve him right. As if it's going to be something important. It's going to be a telemarketer. You watch. I will, Woody Graber. Thank you, Woody Graber. Woody Graber says hi, Neil. And he used to swim naked, too. Can you imagine that?
Were they swimming
As he's
naked
walking
together?
by you right now. There he is. He's walking by you right now. Picture that man naked.
I really don't want to.
Too late.
Were they swimming naked together, though?
I bet he has a mangina.
Or something?
Was it a telemarketer?
Yeah.
Oh.
See,
they were both in New York.
What did I say?
It's an automated call
Told you.
from the Pontiac dealership where I bought that Solstice.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wouldn't buy a car. If they gave me a car, I wouldn't go over there to pick it up. That's the kind of treatment they gave me in that place. And they've got the chutzpah, the gall, to be making automated telemarketing messages. Oh, I'm the sales manager at yada yada Pontiac. Well, screw you.
They got the call,
Your
the
mama.
doll to make a call.
And the thing I love about those is that you pick it up and you say hello, hello, and of course it takes a second or two before the recording thing to kick in and start, I think one of the great things about telephones is that you can actually still talk to a real live person once in a great while.
Once in a while,
Not
yeah.
often anymore, but once in a great while. Usually by accident, you dial a number and there's like a living person on the other side. Remember those days?
Uh-huh.
Before we had all this caca?
I told my children about those days.
Mark says, in honor of Halloween this week, how about what is the best or worst trick-or-treat candy you can get? No, because that's like doing the candy pull all over again, right?
Right.
Oh, here's a nice story. Police murdered Boynton Beach woman stabbed 200 times with a screwdriver. Now, why would I want to read that story?
I don't know.
That is sick. Sick! So much bad crap going on in the world, and we got to put up with that? Somebody wants to share the good news. Some nice lady was stabbed 200 times with a screwdriver. Grotesque. I don't know what happened during the week that you were on, man.
All kinds of bad things.
Emails. Must be some bad karma, because the emails are like, bah. Maybe it's Halloween. Maybe somebody put some bitchcraft in our witchcraft. Boy, I'll tell you, they sure let them off the hook so easy, I mean, why haven't we seen that lunatic?
Because they own the media. Because it's theirs.
Well, where's MSNBC? Where's the ultra-liberal, the left commie people
They're
network?
decoys.
Oh,
just like
is
the
that
Democratic Party, they're decoys.
We want to see a lot more of that goofball minister. Minister my ass.
How do you do that?
Exercising the demons.
Anointing with oil?
I think he put the demons into Sarah. Of course, there are a lot of guys put something into Sarah, but that's beside the point. Speaking of what you were discussing earlier. 12 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM. We got Curtis for the Big O at 2.
Rock solid.
Oh, hallelujah. Oh, happy day. And Fat Chris says it's long overdue, too. He says Curtis ought to have his own show, and he gets screwed because he doesn't suck Clarence's ass.
He is good enough to have his own show.
He is. Better than some of the crap we got on. Oh, my God, if we got some turd burger on the air. Including that blow camper. Oh, my God. He is so dull. He's like a 6 billion-year-old razor blade. That's how dull he is.
Ew, God.
Trick or treat! Trick or treat!
Hey, my first customer.
Well, it's trick or treat. Take it back and come with me while I look so fine. But with a mask, I'm walking blind.
He's blind in one eye.
And it looks so fine, but I'm bumping in the street signs.
Now, if you'll get out of my way.
4, 5, 6, come on, it's treats or tricks. Now I don't need money, just M&M's and bitter honey. Give me that candy.
Candy! Sweet, sweet candy!
Monster boots, wig for hair. I get thrills when I'm giving scares. Well, I can't see in front of me, but candy's what I'm after, man, yeah. No Halloween, don't keep my mouth clean. So what if I get tooth decay, yeah.
Frankenstein's house of tooth decay is closed.
Said, are you gonna be my ghoul?
118 at 560 WQAM. Halloween is just a couple days away. Go out there and make a jackass out of yourself. Oh, don't do that. It's the devil's work, the devil. People who talk about the devil need to be put away.